So much interwoven history in recent times between these two clubs. Arsenal and Monaco about to do battle here at the Emirates. A number of big names you heard there turned out for both Arsenal and for Monaco. Thierry Henry, Emmanuel Petit, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Cesc Fabregas, Emmanuel Adebayor, and of course Arsene Wenger took both clubs to titles. It always puzzles me when people said nobody had heard of Arsene Wenger before he came to Arsenal. He won the French title with Monaco in 1988. He had an Englishman, Mark Hateley, playing up front, top scorer in France that season. Glenn Hoddle was running the midfield. Claude Puel, remember him, former Southampton Leicester manager, the CDM in that Monaco side as well. The brilliant French fullback Manuel Amoros. Emmanuel Petit actually broke into the team shortly after that. He wasn't in that team, but he did win a title with Monaco in 1997, as did Thierry Henry. That's when the Brazilian Sonny Anderson was unstoppable. He went on to win titles with Barcelona and Lyon as well. Emmanuel Petit, by the way, we were with him at the Euros in Germany last summer. You get him talking about Marseille's successful period before they were done for match fixing. He will get very angry. That feeling hasn't left him. He feels Monaco were cheated out of more titles by Marseille in that period. But big history between the two clubs obviously counts for very little as we come to this today, but some seriously good players, Darren Ben. Thierry Henry has to be the number one of all of those who've played with some distinction for both clubs. Some seriously good players and led by Wenger.
Yeah, unbelievable. Thierry Henry, for me, the greatest Arsenal player of all time. Top quality. I almost feel like he's been forgotten about. I mean, Adebayor is probably at the other end of that scale for Arsenal fans. I think that celebration at Manchester City done that. But no, you said there's some fantastic players. Cesc Fabregas, another one. Petit. But yeah, as you said there, Ray, Thierry Henry, if we're talking about the pinnacle and the absolute the greatest to ever do it for Arsenal Football Club, probably for both, you have to say Thierry Henry.
And you know what the incentive is now for Arsenal? To do something great, obviously, to win trophies. But Arsenal have never won the Champions League, even with that great side, with Thierry Henry in it, who, for me, you're right, well, not just one of the best Arsenal player, one of the greatest players in Premier League history, right up there, has to be top 3, top 5 at least. And some real Patrick Vieira alongside him as well. Brilliant team. Invincibles, unbeaten during a season in the league, in the Premier League, winning the title, winning doubles, winning Premier League titles, but never won the Champions League. That's got to be the incentive. You do that with this side, and all of a sudden you've created your own history. You are the ones who've done something they've never done before, despite the great players that have been here.
Absolutely, as you said, there was a travesty that great Invincibles team didn't win the Champions League. And you've got to think about Arsenal's biggest moments have all come at Highbury. That was their home. Yes, we call this home now because this is where Arsenal play. I genuinely believe it will never be really as appreciated like Highbury was until you win a Premier League title here, until you win the Champions League. Yes, FA Cup's perfect, but we saw that at Highbury. They've yet to see a league title here, and until they do that, I think there'll be always some Arsenal fans that will always go, we can't really call this home until we've got some big silverware to kind of show for it.
Monaco have got themselves some Champions League history as well, and in that period, similar to Arsenal's really, 2004, which was probably when Arsenal should have won it. Remember Wayne Bridges' goal for Chelsea that knocked them out in the quarter-final as well. Chelsea then went on to lose the semi-final to Monaco, who then went on to lose the final to Jose Mourinho's Porto, and that led to Mourinho coming to the Premier League, and you know the rest of that story and how Arsenal suffered while Mourinho was in the Premier League. Mbappe on the scene in 2017, they got to the semi-finals of the Champions League again. Highly unexpected that season, and they won the French title that season again. Highly unexpected in this era when Paris Saint-Germain have been dominating, but that season they beat Pep City in the knockouts. Mbappe scored in both legs, aged 18, and also in that Monaco team, Bernardo Silva, João Moutinho, Radamel Falcao. Some brilliant football, and you know what? Mbappe's gone on to score a great goal last night, didn't he?
Wow, what a first touch that was.
Not bad at all. But here at the Emirates, teams are on their way out for this Champions League night, and a big one as well. Only 2 games after this, victory vital. Juventus Man City is over on Talksport 2. Here on Talksport Live at the Emirates, it's Arsenal against Monaco. Winner goes into the all-important top 8. Here's your commentary team, former England striker Darren Bent, alongside Joe Shannon.
Thanks, Adrian. Good evening to you. Nothing like Champions League nights on Talksport, and the great resonance in the Champions League anthem as it's played over the PA system here. A huge tifo in the lower tier of the East Stand, black and white Arsenal, and the red and white flags are flying as well. Plenty of links between Arsenal and Monaco, the former club of both Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry. But for Mikel Arteta, no room for sentiment tonight, and the goal is to go where even Wenger and Henry could not, all the way to Champions League glory. Memories of that 2006 final are very distant now, but lessons have been learned from last year's run to the quarters. Whatever some say, there's still a long way to go in the Premier League title race, and is this the year Arsenal finally make history, that much wanted history in European competition? Arsenal have Raya in goal, Partey, Saliba, Kivior and Miles Lewis-Skelly, the 18-year-old at left back, Ødegaard, Marino and Rice in midfield. Those three start an Arsenal game for the first time together. Saka, Jesus and Martinelli up front. And for Monaco, Maeki the goalkeeper, Vanderson, Kehrer, Salisu and Caio Henrique, Magassa and Kamara, Akliouche, Golovin and Ben Seguir behind Braille and Bolo. The two pennants about to be exchanged on the halfway line. Both sets of players pose for the team photos ahead of kick-off. All of the Champions League awnings all around this ground as Arsenal aim to go all the way in European competition this season. A win tonight, Darren Bent, and they'll get ever closer at least to the knockouts.
Yeah, it will. I mean, a fantastic opportunity for them. Yes, they've got a lot of injuries, Arsenal, but they can't let that faze them. I'm really excited to see Lewis-Skelly. I think he's earned the right to get an opportunity. I think it was a big call for Mikel Arteta to put him in ahead of the likes of Kieran Tierney, but he's got an opportunity now, and I'm really looking forward to watching him play.
And he is proper Arsenal, isn't he? Islington born, 18 years of age. What a moment.
It is what a moment. I mean, to play in the Champions League at such a young age as well, I think they've got good characters around them. You look at this Arsenal starting 11, the likes of Saka, Martinelli. Do you know what I mean? These guys know what it takes to come through, more so Saka, come through that Hale End, you know, I mean, the academy at Arsenal, so they'll be guiding him, they'll be helping him as well. But it's a really, really big call for Mikel Arteta. And as I said, we saw him against Liverpool briefly, against Salah, who a lot of people regard as one of the best wide men in the world, and I thought he handled himself very, very well. So tonight will be a different test.
Just his second start in an Arsenal shirt. Arsenal in red and white, and Monaco in their change kit of dark green. Beware Monaco. They've had a very good start to the Champions League phase. They're only behind Arsenal in the table on goal difference, and amongst other teams, they've already beaten Barcelona this season. They are without Dennis Zakaria, one of their key players, and the former Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun. But this might not be straightforward for Arsenal tonight on a chilly night in North London with the floodlights on, and the live football continues every day this week on the Talksport network, part of 50 live games across the month of December, and a Champions League double bill tonight. Juventus against Manchester City over on Talksport 2, and Arsenal against Monaco here on Talksport. Arsenal playing from left to right in the first half towards the clock end of the ground. Fans taking their seats in front of us all the time. We are sat right behind the away dugout here at the Emirates Stadium. And Monaco will play from right to left towards the North Bank in the first half. There's a word from the referee for David Raya, not entirely sure what about. The goalkeeper trots back towards his goal. I'm not entirely sure what the issue is. In fact, I think his water bottle might have just strayed onto the pitch, so he's been told to move it, and we're about to get off and underway. Arsenal just outside the top 8 in the Champions League table as the game begins. Arsenal give it away straight from kick-off, and charging downfield is Akliouche for Monaco, having run it back. He's got Golovin square, so too Ben Seguir, the number 7, corner of the penalty area. Back in field to Akliouche with the curly hair. It's a young but talented Monaco team. Thilo Kehrer, formerly of West Ham, out to the far side, the right, and Vanderson for them. Vanderson's ball in midfield is mopped up by Declan Rice, and Arsenal with Marino clear upfield towards the halfway line at the expense of a throw. 30 seconds gone. Good atmosphere here at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal 0, Monaco 0, and we'll keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in tonight in the Champions League, and a busy evening of matches in the EFL, the Championship as well. Goals as they go in. And if you want Juventus against Manchester City, just download our app and you can swipe between both stations, Talksport and Talksport 2, at your leisure. Marino trying to bring the ball down on the halfway line for Arsenal, and Martinelli with a high back pass that loops up into the air, and it's easy for David Raya to control. I can see Mikel Arteta already standing with his arms folded on the edge of the Arsenal technical area as Lewis Skelly feeds Martinelli out in the left wing position, and he's in a one-on-one situation with Vanderson. Martinelli dribbles infield, he's half blocked off by Akliouche, and he goes back to the halfway line, and Saliba, here's Darren Bent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this one. Arsenal in that 4-3-3 fluid system, and then Monaco in that almost like a 4-2-3-1. I think Breel Mbolo, I think he's one of those players I'm really looking forward to watching, because I think he's got everything. He's quick, he's strong, his numbers maybe don't match up to certainly some of the ability that he shows, but I think for Arsenal, Martinelli, it's a big game for him. Of course, a lot of people blame him for that, not scoring that winning goal against Fulham, getting himself offside when he shouldn't do. This is another opportunity for him to impress.
Well, we've seen Mbolo play and score against England in the past Euro 2024. There's a free kick for Monaco here in the left-back position. 0-0 the score in the early stages. Meanwhile, a goal already in the Women's Champions League at Stamford Bridge. Here's Ian Abraham.
Chelsea 1, FC 0. It's Macario who's lobbed deliciously over the goalkeeper from the right-hand side of the penalty area. Chelsea 1, FC 0.
Chelsea women have won all 13 of their matches so far under Sonia Bonpastor, looking to make it 14 out of 14. Declan Rice on the halfway line for Arsenal. Near side of the field, in between two dark green shirts, across comes Golovin, who an absolute age ago, in fact, you have to go back to when Arsene Wenger was in charge, was linked with Arsenal, the Russian in the middle of midfield, and now Caio Henrique, the left back with the long sleeves, back to the former Southampton defender Mohamed Salisu, as the Arsenal fans around us find their boys screaming it's gone 0-0.
Yeah, Monaco have started really quick. They've pressed Arsenal all over the pitch here. They've won the ball back quite high up, and Arsenal at the minute just haven't quite settled into their normal kind of shape and just passing it around, trying to play out from the back. It's been quite rushed and quite panicked, but they have pressed really, really well, Monaco.
Saliba steers the ball to the right back position, and Thomas Partey. Arsenal effectively with just one first choice defender in the back line tonight. Saliba, of course, as Partey is tripped and wins a free kick, and the injuries continue to mount, as really, Darren, they have done all season so far for Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, they have, and I mean the fact that they signed Calafiori as well, and they thought that he'd be maybe the answer to that left hand side. He's got himself injured. I know Timber's on the bench. I know Gabriel's incredibly durable as well. I mean, he probably can't believe he's back, because you talk about 3 or 4 in the same position. Even Zinchenko, he's out as well. Just not been a good couple of months for Arsenal.
Benfica won Bologna 0 in the Champions League. Mikel Marino's cross towards Ødegaard on the edge of the penalty area, didn't reach him, and the giant Magassa tries to come away with possession. He loses out to Ødegaard, and the left-footed effort from Gabriel Jesus from the angle is easy for the goalkeeper Maeki. 0-0.
Yeah, right idea from Gabriel Jesus. Really nice run and a lovely pass from Ødegaard. He just leaves it in there, and what he tries to do is come onto it like that Thierry Henry type finish, where he just sets it outside that far post and just bends it into the far corner, but he gets too much on it, and in the end it's an easy save for the goalkeeper.
And in fact, that Benfica goal has been ruled out after a VAR check. Still Benfica 0, Bologna 0 in the Champions League tonight, as the ball goes back to Maeki, the Monaco goalkeeper. The game being played at quite a furious pace and intensity in these early stages on Talksport, as Arsenal win it back through Lewis Skelly, and that'll give him some real confidence, the teenager, albeit the Monaco man Akliouche has gone down just shy of the halfway line, and the referee has come across Davide Massa from Italy to stop the game.
I think it's a big evening for Gabriel Jesus. I mean, just looking at that chance again, I mean, he does everything right. He just doesn't get enough on it to kind of sell it into that far corner. But I mean, not scoring a goal since January. We know how good he is as a footballer, but he's got to find a way of getting more goals consistently.
Darren Bent with us tonight in the commentary position. Andy Goldstein was saying to me earlier, you've got to mention the darts tournament from yesterday on Talksport to Darren, but you've had Arsenal fans coming up to you and reminding you of it already.
I know, honestly. Adrian Clark walked past us earlier as well. He was giving me a little bit. Honestly, never again. Next year I'm winning it. I'm putting it out there. I'm winning it.
As Raya clears long for Arsenal. Was there anybody who wasn't listening or wasn't watching on our Talksport YouTube channel yesterday? Doesn't feel like there was.
Well, that's the most important thing. Eyes on the station. That is the most important thing.
You're a company man. Marino out to the left, and Martinelli for Arsenal. Left wing position, he skips infield. Good reverse ball to Marino. In the area, low shot. And Jesus stretching to meet it. Couldn't turn it home. Good football by Arsenal. Maybe should have been 1-0 in the end, behind for a goal kick.
Do you know what? It's great play from Arsenal. It's a lovely little reverse pass from Martinelli. and it's a great run from Moreno, who gets in between the fullback and the centre-back. The only thing he gets wrong there, he doesn't have to smash it. I think if he just leaves it in there, that 6-yard box, rolls it across there nicely, I think Gabriel Jesus taps it in. But the fact he almost smashes it across the box, I mean, Gabriel Jesus, he can't go in there earlier or he'll be offside, so that's almost an opportunity gone there for Arsenal.
It does say something that this is the first time Marino, Rice and Odegaard have started a game together for Arsenal since Marino arrived at the club. Of course, all three have had injury issues to contend with this season. Arsenal have possession now with Lewis Skelly. On his outside is Kivior. Kivior standing in the left-back position now, and Lewis Skelly's got into an inverted role. Of course, he is capable, the youngster, of playing in a deep-lying central midfield position. I remember seeing him in the FA Youth Cup here a few years ago in that role. Over the top goes Raya towards Martinelli. Vanderson is there, the Brazilian right-back for Monaco. Far side of the field, the east side of the ground. And Monaco have possession again with their centre-half, Thilo Kehrer, formerly of West Ham.
Do you know, that might be another reason why Mikel Arteta opted for Lewis Skelly over Kieran Tierney, because I've watched Kieran Tierney and I think he's fantastic in straight lines, powerful, running up and down the line, but maybe he's a little bit less comfortable going into that midfield area, playing on the half turn. I think maybe that's why, whereas you look at Lewis Skelly, who's been in there a couple of times, he looks cultured, he looks comfortable in that midfield area.
Arsenal 0, Monaco 0. 7 minutes played. Live tonight on Talksport, live football every day this week, including tomorrow night, Rangers against Spurs on Talksport. That should be a cracker in the Europa League at 8 o'clock. We'll also bring you Manchester United and Chelsea, both in action in European competition tomorrow. Marino for Arsenal, 25 yards out, wide to Martinelli in front of the Monaco fans. Scampers infield, he's blocked off by Vanderson. There were two in dark green there to sandwich Martinelli, and then Vanderson is tripped and he wins a free kick midway inside his own half of the field. I can see Adi Hütter, the experienced Monaco head coach, the Austrian, standing about 20 rows of seats in front of us, a dark overcoat, his arms are folded. He had some memorable European nights at Frankfurt, including Unai Emery's last game in charge as it was of Arsenal when Frankfurt came here and won 2-1 in the Europa League a few years ago. So he knows how to beat Arsenal, does Adi Hütter, albeit that was a very different iteration of Arsenal than the one we see today. Header by Saliba, only as far as Caio Henrique, and now Kamara in the middle of midfield for Monaco. Good footballing side, this Monaco team, and they're confident in possession. They're looking to move the ball quickly early on here, as are Arsenal. It's been quite a bright 8.5 minutes, I think, Darren.
Yeah, it has, and I think if Arsenal go and press them, I think Monaco have shown a couple of times when Arsenal pressed them quite high up, they've almost struggled to break the press.
Monaco on the attack on the far side. Vanderson, the number 2, he loves to get forward infield to Embolo, tries to take it away from Marino, who gets back, then he loses possession. Ben Seguir, square to Golovin, lovely feet on the edge of the box, and he bends it just wide. Super effort right-footed from the number 10 Golovin, and it had Raya scrambling to his left-hand side. Golovin far wide of that left-hand post, stays 0-0.
Yeah, you can see what Golovin's trying to do there. I mean, he works it really, really well onto his right foot from just outside the box in the D, and he tries to bend it back into that near post, and I think David Raya probably had it covered, but from this angle it looked like a fantastic effort. But that comes from Jakub Kiwior, kind of getting trapped in that modern-day defender where they don't want to just clear their lines, they want to try and pull out from the back, and they nearly get punished.
A clever bending effort from Golovin, but he couldn't steer it inside the post, and Arsenal now look down the middle towards Jesus. Across comes Kehrer to sweep it away with authority at the heart of the Monaco back line. About 2,000 Monaco fans have made the trip to North London tonight, and they're holding their red and white scarves above their heads away on the far side in the lower tier. Arsenal lose possession now. Golovin 10 yards shy of the halfway line, forward to Embolo. Embolo tries to hold up the play. No foul given by the referee. Akliouche skips across from left to right towards the near side of the field. He's got Ben Seguir square, standing right in front of Mikel Arteta. Ben Seguir skips in field. 10 minutes gone, Arsenal 0, Monaco 0. Final 2, Sparta Prague 0 in the Champions League, and Stuttgart 0, Young Boys 1 is the latest score. Young Boys who are yet to pick up a point in the Champions League so far this season. Arsenal win it back, and Lewis Skelly will steer the ball in field to Saliba with the blue boots on, and Arteta looking quite expressive in these early stages. Arsenal know that they're in for a game tonight based on what we've seen early on, I think.
Yeah, Monaco are really getting after them there, and even in that little phase of play there, I mean, Thomas Partey's getting the ball, he's getting pressed, Declan Rice gets it, he's got Umbrello behind him as well, behind him. I mean, if Arsenal can beat the press, there's a lot of gaps, because effectively it's 3v3. It's Martinelli, Saka and Gabriel Jesus up against the back three of Monaco, so if they can beat the press, I think there's opportunities there.
West Bromwich Albion 1, Coventry 0 is the latest score in the Championship tonight. Frank Lampard's third game in charge of Coventry City, and his team are behind at the Hawthorns to play off chasing West Bromwich Albion. Elsewhere in the Championship tonight, everything else is goalless. Cardiff 0, Preston 0, Hull 0, Watford 0, Millwall 0, Sheffield United 0. Sheffield United could go top of the table tonight. They will do so with a win above Leeds United. And QPR 0, Oxford United 0, also a latest score. Here is Salisu, big defender on the halfway line, formerly of Southampton, and now Magassa wearing number 88, down the middle to Mbolo, skips away from Kivior. Marino there though to whip it off his toes, and Arsenal win the ball back, and Rice strides forward authoritatively towards halfway. Marino's gone down and Mbolo's gone down and stayed down. No need for the referee to stop the game because it's not a head injury, despite Monaco appeals. Play rightly able to continue here. Saka's kept it in on the near side.
I'm not sure there's anything wrong with him either, so I wouldn't have put it out, and that's why the Arsenal fans are so angry.
Partey does put it out.
Because I thought Declan Rice won the ball quite clearly there, and there was no reason for him to go down there, because it wasn't a bad tackle. Declan Rice just got his body in and managed to usher the ball away from him, and then he went down, so I can understand the Arsenal fans' frustration in that scenario.
I think you're absolutely right.
He's up straight away.
Would you believe it? And the boos from the Arsenal fans tell you all you need to know. Well-timed challenge it looked like from Marino, and there's no reason why. It was very sporting from Thomas Partey in the end, but everybody had half stopped, in fairness to him, by the time he put it out of play.
I'm not stopping. There's no way. He's down there. And as players on the pitch, you can sense if maybe someone's maybe trying to have you off there by going, you know what, he's just trying to buy a free kick or waste a bit of time. If I'm Arsenal there, I'd have gone all guns blazing, because they're a man down, they're trying to get back into shape, they're scurrying back. I think they've been too kind there, Arsenal.
That's the voice of the former England striker Darren Bent, with us tonight at the Emirates Stadium. Here is Rice inside the centre circle for Arsenal. Arsenal's next game at home to Everton is live with us here on Talksport 2 on Saturday. Quite the weekend of Premier League football for you. Southampton, Spurs and Chelsea, Brentford both live on the network on Sunday evening. Ødegaard, the Arsenal captain, so elegant in possession as he glides in field and feeds Rice with a square ball to the feet of Lewis Skelly. Quickly to his left is Marino, and Martinelli further wide hugging that left touchline. 0-0, reverse ball Martinelli. Marino digs out the cross, cleared away by Kehrer. It's come back to Martinelli. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I thought Marino, even running onto it, might have made more of it than that, given his quality on the ball. Here he is again out on that far side, steers the ball back infield to Lewis Skelly. Arsenal keep possession with Kivior, everybody behind the ball in the dark green shirts of Monaco.
What he has done really well, Marino, is run between Van der Sar and Kehrer. There's been up 3 or 4 opportunities now where he's gone out there with Martinelli and just run between the full-back and the centre-back. And as you said there, I think when he got there, if he could have just lifted it a little bit more and just dropped it almost on between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box, I think Gabriel Jesus was coming onto it. The fact he kind of did neither, again, it's opportunity gone.
1 goal in 18 this season for Gabriel Jesus. And that was in the League Cup. Ødegaard controls in his chest, near side of the field. Arsenal 0, Monaco 0. 14 played in the Champions League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Here is Saliba, just inside Monaco territory. Deft touch to find Saka. Saka dribbles down the near side, the right, and for once, almost forgets to take it with him. He's carried it out of play under pressure from Caio Henrique.
Well, that's the thing, I think, because of the reputation that Saka's almost brought on himself because of how good he's been, they're going to double up on him. I mean, he gets the ball there, and you can see that he's maybe a little bit over-eager to try and attack Henrique, the fullback. But because he hasn't really had many touches the first, 15 minutes of this game, it probably wasn't on to run with it, but he just thought, you know what, I've got to try something to get myself into this game.
14 assists last season for Saka, already 11 this season. Here come Monaco out on the far side, the right. Van der Sar on the ball. Led with the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, tucks it back to Akliouche, who whips in a left-footed cross, and that's a simple header away for Saliba, unchallenged inside his own penalty area. Atletico Madrid 3, Slovan Bratislava 1, Lille 3, Sturm Graz 2. Full-time scores from the early kickoffs in the Champions League. And very few goals have gone in so far in the 8 o'clock kickoffs. In fact, the only goals, Feyenoord 2, Sparta Prague 0 and Stuttgart 0, Young Boys 1. Here come Monaco down the middle with Magassa. Rice is just there to dart in front of him, knock it off his toes, and Arsenal have possession back, and in fact they've won a free kick midway inside their own half, 0-0.
Yeah, good play there from Declan Rice. I'd just like Arsenal to move it a little bit quicker. I mean, they won the free kick there, they put the ball down, and then they wasted it by going 5 yards backwards, and that allowed Monaco to get back into shape. And I mean, Arsenal are top side now, and teams are going to do this to them, where they're going to just sit in that kind of low block, not really go and engage the ball until they feel they can really go and win it. So I think Arsenal just got to play a little bit quicker.
That ball cross field from Rice is out of play, and he raises an arm in apology as it goes out, trickles out of play for a throw on the far side of the field to Monaco. There's so many links, of course, between the two clubs, not least Arsene Wenger and Thierry Henry, but Emmanuel Petit and Cesc Fabregas as well, as Monaco go back to goalkeeper Maecki.
Wouldn't mind them two in the current squad, Henry and Fabregas.
Wouldn't mind Petit either.
Yeah, I forgot about him as well.
In his pomp. And out of play the ball goes for a throw to Arsenal on the near side touchline, and Monaco just trying to slow the game down at every opportunity. One or two Arsenal fans out of their seats in frustration with that. Thomas Partey, the number 5, will take the throw on the near side of the field as we look at it. Right in front of the Monaco dugout. He's looking for options in red and white. Goes square. Terrible throw. Straight to Akliouche. Now Kamara raiding over the halfway line for Monaco. Only Vanderson bursting forward really in support. Kamara slows the play down. Goes back to Akliouche. That was almost inexplicable really there from Partey.
Yeah, bizarre. I mean, I know what he's trying to do. I mean, there was a little crossover between Saka and Odegaard tried to come inside. But I mean, Thomas Partey just got too much on the throw, and it went, as you said, to Kamara, and he broke away. But again, there's another opportunity there for Arsenal and they're in Monaco's half. Can they try and make something happen rather than giving the ball away and all having to sprint back towards their own goal?
Arsenal looking to jump into the top 8 in the Champions League tonight, and those automatic places in terms of reaching the knockout stages of the Champions League. Of course, if you finish outside the top 8, 9th to 24th, then you will be in the playoffs, and anything below that is an automatic elimination from the Champions League. A brand new format, and of course Arsenal looking to win the Champions League for the very first time this season. Goalless with Monaco live on Talksport. And actually Golovin's effort from the edge of the D, really the best chance or the best moment of play that we've seen in the 18 minutes so far. For Arsenal there was that Gabriel Jesus effort that was a bit tame and easy for the goalkeeper Maecki, who's not been stretched really yet at all. Jesus drops very deep inside his own half to hold up possession, and he holds up play well. Steers the ball wide to Partey, who charges over the halfway line. He's run 20 yards. Saka on his outside. Saka in field onto that favoured left foot, that wonderful left foot. Back now to Rice, just inside Monaco territory.
Again there, Saka got the ball in a really good area, but he ends up having to go backwards and all the way back up to Saliba, and then again it allows Monaco to get back into shape, because I think that so far has been Arsenal's best moments in the game is on transition, when Monaco have given the ball away. There's been a little threaded pass between the fullback, whether it be Moreno on that side or Odegaard on this side, and I think that's how Arsenal are going to have to approach this game. But if they go forwards and backwards and it's all quite one pace, that's going to allow them playing to Monaco's hands, where they can play and kind of defend deep.
Here is Saka, right wing position near side of the field, level the edge of the penalty area. Lovely ball to Odegaard. Odegaard onto that left foot, tries to bend it into the top corner, and he can't quite steer it on target. But the Arsenal fans applaud the intent, applaud the effort. Lovely ball by Saka in between two defenders to find him, and then a little shuffle, a drop of the shoulder from Odegaard. You could see what he was trying to do, Darren Bent, but not enough to steer it inside the post.
No, it was lovely play there again. I think it was the ball from Declan Rice. I mean, he breaks the lines again with a lovely pass into Saka, and as you said there, Saka feeds it between two defenders, and you know what Odegaard's trying to do. I mean, he pretends like he's going to just dip it inside, and he doesn't. He tries to find that far corner and just gets a little bit too much on it.
Salisu clears long upfield for Monaco, and then the ball bounces out of play via the touch of Akliouche, and Arsenal have got a throw. They're right in front of the Monaco technical area here at the Emirates Stadium, and a good atmosphere around the ground again tonight. It's pretty much full as Partey goes back to the halfway line now, and William Saliba. Arsenal remain without Gabriel Calafiori, no Tomiyasu, not seen him in action for some time. No Zinchenko in the squad tonight.
Do you know what? That's a bigger miss than people think that Tomiyasu won, because Tomiyasu is so versatile. He can play so many different positions across that back line that I just think when you need someone to fill in, Tomiyasu is really perfect at it.
Lovely work by Rice, racing forward into Monaco territory. Players in red and white, left, right and centre. Rice into a centre position now, and he's been out-muscled by Magassa, who did very well and pokes the ball clear up towards the halfway line. The ball was held up by Mbolo. Out of play it goes for a Monaco throw on this near side of the field, and it was a good acceleration and burst of pace by Rice, but he was blocked off, and in fact it was actually Kamara who got back to stop that Arsenal attack.
Do you know, it was great play from Declan, but I think the movement ahead of him, which is why he kind of got caught in two minds and didn't know what to do. I think ultimately as he drove across the pitch, he wanted to feed out to Saka, but there was someone blocking it. But Martinelli stayed to the touchline. Gabriel Jesus was just in front of him. There was no kind of runs in behind. There was no one peeling off. There was no crosses over. And I mean, Declan Rice, yeah, he's a top quality player. Probably should do a little bit more in that situation, but I have got a bit of sympathy for him because there's got a bit of movement ahead of him.
Slightly frustrating first 21 and a half minutes for Arsenal in the game so far. We haven't seen any of those famed set pieces as yet.
Wait for it.
Just wait until they get the first corner. They'll be cheering it like it's a goal. Here come Monaco though, on the near side the left with Ben Seguir taking on Partey, driving infield onto the right foot, lays it back to Golovin with the gloves on. Now he goes backwards to Kehra's ball out to the right wing position. Vanderson with the opportunity to cross, and he's knocked it back to Kehra. Kehra now 10 yards inside Arsenal territory, and Magassa steers the ball to his left, and Salisu. Golovin spins away from Declan Rice, trying to play a ball up the inside left channel. Saka was in the way. Good diligent work defensively by Saka. He's held the ball up right in front of the Arsenal dugout, and he's done impressively there, sandwiched in between Magassa and Kaya Henrique to win Arsenal a free kick.
If ever there was a time where you wanted to know if Bukayo Saka worried this Monaco team, it was right then, because as he got the ball to his chest, there was 4 Monaco players around him. They were not going to let him get past them, but I mean, that's what Saka's going to have to do. It might be a little bit frustrating. He might not get to see the ball as much as he'd probably like, but when he does get the ball, can he draw fouls? Can he go past the fullback? Can he attract 1 or 2 players which will free up a little bit of space for somebody else? Again, it might be a very good game for Saka, but for very different reasons.
Goalless at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal-Monaco, and this game is brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Rice on the halfway line with a little touch backwards 2 or 3 yards to Saliba, whose name is being sung, that chant that rings around the ground often after home victories for Arsenal. They'll play the accompanying music as well. And here's Rice again on the halfway line away from Mbolo. I have to say Monaco have competed very well on and off the ball, and maybe we shouldn't be surprised because of course they started the night only behind Arsenal on goal difference in the Champions League table.
Yeah, they have. They've worked really hard. I mean, Arsenal again have played not as quick as they probably can do, but they need to speed up a little bit.
Jesus wide to Ødegaard, driving up to the corner of the penalty area. Saka in support. They're doubling up on Bukayo Saka. He's threaded the ball infield to Luis Skelly. Good reverse pass inside right, and now Jesus back to Ødegaard. The angle very tight. Ødegaard curls in a shot left-footed, and it's 2 or 3 yards wide. He had almost no room or space to work with. In fact, he did well to get the shot away. No closer to troubling the Monaco goalkeeper though.
I mean, he works it really well, and it looks like it takes a slight nick off the defender, but they're not going to get that. But again, that was a prime example of when Arsenal play quick in and around that 18-yard box. Monaco just can't quite get out there, but they've defended it up until this point really, really well.
Having a lot of the ball, Arsenal, so far, nearly 60% of the possession in the first 24 minutes, but you'd probably expect that. The key thing, of course, is can they create the chances?
I think they can do, Arsenal, but they've just got to speed it up, because this is going to happen to them more and more. I mean, the better they get as a team, teams are going to think, do you know what, why am I going to come to the Emirates and try and go toe-to-toe with them? We haven't got the same amount of players that they've got. They've got better players than we've got. They've just got to find a way to up the tempo a little bit, get Bukayo Saka on the ball, get Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Martin Ødegaard, your more forward-thinking players, guys that we know that can hurt teams in the final third in the right areas, and really try and punish this Monaco side.
Arsenal unbeaten in 6 in all competitions, and they have had some thumping victories of late. 3 here against Nottingham Forest, the 5 at West Ham, the 5 at Sporting. So maybe some of this suggestion that they're over-reliant on set pieces exaggerated. Long ball downfield, Kivior, Gabriel Jesus is in! Good save by Maeki, the goalkeeper, but what a huge chance for Jesus. Now Ødegaard, right edge of the penalty area. Plays it back to Rice, and Rice now steers the ball out to the left, and Marino far side of the field. I thought Maeki, the goalkeeper, was going to come out. He stayed on his line, and it's an excellent save, stretching with his leg to turn the shot away, but Gabriel Jesus should score. 0-0 it remains. Here is Partey.
He has to score that, Joe. He has to. I mean, it's a great ball in behind. It's almost like a...
As Partey breaks lovely back heel towards the onrushing Saka. In the way this time is Magassa to clear it away for Monaco. And Ben Seguir has won Monaco the goal kick. Well, that's the best moment of the game so far from an Arsenal perspective. But Gabriel Jesus was clean through inside the penalty area. Only the goalkeeper to beat. And I think Salisu was saying to the goalkeeper, why didn't you come out and claim that long ball downfield? He didn't. He retreated. And Jesus couldn't find the back of the net.
I mean, yeah, again, as I said, he's got to score. I mean, it's a simple run. I mean, it's a great ball from Jakub Kiwior. One straight long ball, and it bounces, and the keeper makes it quite... he tries to make the decision quite early that, you know what, I'm not going to come for this. And he does everything right, Gabriel Jesus, but he just doesn't get enough purchase on it. He almost shanks it into the ground. And, I mean, a confident Gabriel Jesus probably scores that. I mean, there are a number of options. He could have settled himself down. He could have lifted it over the goalkeeper. He could have gone to that near post. He almost drags it against the goalkeeper. But as I said, if this was a centre forward that had been scoring goals on a regular basis, he buries that. But the fact he hasn't scored since January, that's probably why he misses it.
Former England striker Darren Bent with us tonight on Talksport. Arsenal 0, Monaco 0 in the 27th minute. Stuttgart have an equaliser in the Champions League against Young Boys. It's 1-1. And Odegaard trying to cajole the crowd, the Arsenal captain. And some of them respond.
Do you know what, Joe? This is going to sound strange, right? But when you're a goalkeeper, when you're a striker, that's got no form whatsoever, hasn't scored a goal in a while, they're the worst opportunities that you want. They're not the chances you want because you've got to overthink about it.
Right.
As the ball's going, travelling a long distance, you're thinking, right, what do I do here? Do I lob the goalkeeper? There's so many things that go through your mind.
He's got another chance. Martinelli through to Jesus. Excellent acceleration. And the goalkeeper there again. Jesus can't get to the rebound. More excellent goalkeeping from Maeki, but it just won't go in tonight so far for Gabriel Jesus. A hat-trick of chances in the first half. This time the acceleration was excellent to get beyond Kehrer, but Maeki made a sprawling save, and it's still 0-0 live on Talksport.
Again, I was just talking about it. They're the chances when you're not in that right form, when you're not scoring goals regularly. Those are the worst type of chances where you've got to think about it. I mean, in that scenario there, I think a confident Gabriel Jesus, because it's a lovely pass from Martinelli. He slips him in, and as he goes in, he does everything right, gets his body across. In that scenario there, little dink. I think if he dinks it, the goalkeeper's already set himself. He's gone to ground. If he dinks it, he probably scores. But a confident Gabriel Jesus would probably know that.
In mitigation, is that a tougher chance because he's got Kehrer trying to stick with him all the way?
Yes, he has, yeah, because he's almost feeling the defender, and it is a difficult chance. But as a centre forward in this type of game, you've got to take it. And as I was saying, when you're a striker that hasn't scored many goals of late, they're the worst ones where you overthink it. What he needs is one of those where it flashes across the box, it hits him, it goes in, and then the confidence comes back. But all he can do now is keep going. I'm sure he'll get another chance in this game, but the next one he just has to take it.
Arsenal 0, Monaco 0. Let's get news of a goal in the Championship at the Den on Talksport with Charlotte Richardson.
Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1. Ryan Brewster breaks the deadlock. A quick, slick move. Brewster with a simple tap in at the back post as the visitors carve the host's defence open to take the lead. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1.
Sheffield United heading top of the Championship in what is Neil Harris's final home game in charge at Millwall. As Monaco trying to come forward, Ben Seguir gives it away. Saka on the counter, played forward by Partey. Saka tearing down the right-hand side. Salisu's backing off. The Arsenal fans get to their feet. Saka towards the dead ball line. Salisu slides in. I think that's a well-timed challenge. Goal kick given. There's been another goal in the Women's Champions League at Stamford Bridge. Here's Ian Abrahams.
Half an hour gone. Chelsea 1, FC 21. The equaliser from the spot scored by Katie Van Duyn after a really good play by Macario. Chelsea back in front though. They've just scored again right in front of me, and they've gone back into the lead. It's Ramirez, I think, who's got the goal. It's Chelsea 2, FC 21.
Half-time in the Championship at Loftus Road. Here's Alex Crook.
It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Oxford 0. Clear chances in short supply here. Cameron Brannigan in the 6th minute saw his long-range effort saved by Paul Nardi. We've had a Jimmy Dunn header and one from Steve Cook off target for the hosts. Not much quality here. QPR 0, Oxford 0.
Thanks, Alex. And still goalless at the Emirates Stadium as we tick towards the half-hour mark, though. Gabriel Jesus has missed 3 good opportunities. I suppose the one thing that you can say is that he's certainly in the position to get himself in front of goal to try and take the opportunities. And actually, you must give some credit to the goalkeeper.
And that's what he's got to do. I know he's got to try and get that in his mind as quick as possible. But if you are going to take a positive from it, you have to just say at least he's getting the chances. It's clearly his movement's good. Clearly he's making the right runs because he's getting the ball. It's just that last little bit of quality, and that will come. I mean, he's a Brazilian international. He's been playing the Premier League a long time. He's got a lot of goals in the Champions League. He just got to keep believing, keep getting them opportunities, and I'm sure he'll get it.
Just that one goal so far this season for Gabriel Jesus, but Arsenal is starting to turn the screw now. Half an hour gone. Saliba just shy of the halfway line. Good noise, raucous noise at the Emirates Stadium again. Arsenal fans in the chilly night air with the red and white scarves and hats on. Out on the far side, the left is Marino. Infield to Martinelli, 35 yards from goal. He's dribbled into a central position, the Brazilian, and he steers the ball to the right, the near side, and Saka. 3 in the middle to aim at. Back he goes to Partey. Partey, good ball between the lines to Ødegaard, who dinks it into the box. Not a good pass from Ødegaard. Intercepted and cleared away by Salisu. Now Golovin driving forward up towards the halfway line. He's into the centre circle. Martinelli snaps back at him. Oh, and he's booked for that. Not only a free kick given, and I don't think the Arsenal fans can believe that, but he's been yellow carded as well, Martinelli.
Yeah, a little bit of a cynical one there for Martinelli. He obviously gave the ball away. Well, he actually didn't give the ball away, gave it to Martin Ødegaard. He gave it away, but to be fair, the reaction was fantastic for Martinelli because he turned around, he sprinted back 60 yards. Did he need to make that challenge? Probably not, because I think Arsenal had enough bodies back there. But the referee again, once you do that and it's as cynical as that, then you're always going to get booked for it.
Celtic 0, Real Madrid 1 in the Women's Champions League. Celtic, who've lost all 4 of their group games so far going into tonight. Long ball downfield by Thilo Kehrer. Kivior with a good back header to David Raya. Let's get half-time at Hull in the Championship with Talksport's Mike McCarthy.
Hull 0, Watford 0. Regulation stop for visiting keeper Backman from Ryan Giles' 25-yard drive. The only shot on target. Lots of endeavour in Ruben Sayers' first game in charge of bottom of the table Hull. The home side looking likelier. No breakthrough though. Hull 0, Watford 0.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, it's a big job, isn't it, for Ruben Sellers, having joined Hull City from Reading. Here is Kivior for Arsenal. Angled ball to the left, the far side, and Martinelli beneath the east stand, close to where the Monaco fans are chanting away. Southeast corner of the ground. Arsenal with Martinelli again drifting into that central area, and Monaco have got everybody back behind the ball, which is making life tough for Arsenal, though they have shown that they are capable of creating opportunities. 33 minutes in, still waiting for the first goal of the game. Saka reverse ball, Ødegaard, little dummy away from Salisu. Salisu snapping back at him. Ødegaard, the Arsenal captain, teases it back to Partey. Now Ødegaard again, led with the edge of the penalty area, being tugged back by Salisu. Ødegaard wriggles away from him. Referee has played the advantage. Ødegaard looks up. All the time he's looking for options off the ball, Ødegaard, as he rolls the ball into the middle of midfield. Lewis Skelly down the middle. Lovely ball. Jesus across goal. Saka! 1-0 Arsenal! Lovely ball in by Jesus. And Saka on the end of it from close range. Fine goal for Arsenal. And they have the breakthrough here in North London. And I tell you what, if Jesus can't find the back of the net himself, that was an excellent assist, and Saka from close range couldn't miss. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0.
Yeah, great goal, great play from Gabriel Jesus, just tools off again into that left-hand channel, and him being a centre forward, he knows exactly how to put the ball in, exactly how he'd want the ball, how to receive it, and to be fair, he rolls it across the 6-yard box, and Saka doing what all good wide men should do on the opposite side. He comes into that back post, and he comes on and meets it, and he taps it in the empty net. It's a really good goal from Arsenal, but it's great move from Gabriel Jesus. Just peels off into that channel and then just feeds the ball in there. He doesn't smash it, he rolls it across the 6-yard box, and Saka gets himself in there.
Lovely move, and Saka there to apply the finishing touch, having been denied at Fulham at the weekend from a similar sort of position. I have to say the ball in from Jesus was terrific, right across the edge of the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper couldn't get there, and then Monaco straight from the kick-off thumped the ball straight to David Raya. But Arsenal deserve the lead, Darren Bent.
Do you know, it's a fantastic ball from Gabriel Jesus, but again, when you're a centre forward sometimes and you pull out wide, you almost know where you know where you'd like to have the ball and how to receive the ball, and he just rolls it in there, doesn't smash it. We saw Moreno earlier in the game getting the exact same position and completely smash it across, and no one could get on the end of it. Gabriel Jesus gets himself in there, takes his time and just feeds it, rolls it with the instep across the 6-yard box. And Saka, as I said, all good wide men on the opposite side, getting himself in there and taps it in the empty net.
Mikel Arteta punches the air as Monaco give it away. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. Let's bring you the half-time score in the Championship at the Den. Here's Charlotte Richardson.
It's Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1. Neil Harris's players have given it their all first half, but are behind. Ryan Brewster showcasing the clinical edge required to lead at the top of the Championship. Millwall had a hat-trick of decent chances, punished for not taking them. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1.
And there's news of another goal in the Women's Champions League at Chelsea in Abrahams.
This is incredible. Chelsea 3, FC 21. A goal by Maya Ramirez from 35, maybe even 40 yards out. Saw Olivia Clark off her line. One excellent chip over the top of her. It's Chelsea 3, FC 21.
Arsenal 1-0 up here on Talksport. Tomorrow night, Rangers against Tottenham at 8 o'clock. Astana against Chelsea and Pilsen against Manchester United are on Talksport 2. Live football every day of the week on the network and 50 live games in December. Akliouche, right-wing position with a curler for Monaco. Well, it was a cross-come shot. I think he was caught in two minds. Nowhere near Mbolo, goal kick Arsenal.
That was a good ball for Akliouche. I thought he put it in a really good cross, but there was not enough bodies in the box for Monaco. It was only Mbolo. I think if they'd maybe got, like we saw for the Arsenal goal, if we'd have seen the opposite wide man getting the ball, he would have had a tap in. But I thought it was a great ball from Akliouche.
Martinelli out on the left for Arsenal. Arsenal looking dangerous in possession in open play. Marino corner the penalty area, tried to poke it through towards Ødegaard, smuggled away by Magassa. And you really do feel now Arsenal up to 5th in the league phase table, by the way, into that crucial top 8 in the Champions League. And if they were to score a second, it could be a long night for Monaco. In the 37th minute now, the Arsenal fans always get to their feet whenever Saka's got the ball, and he's trying to twist away from Ben Seguir, but he has dribbled it out of play. It was interesting listening to Ødegaard in the build-up, Darren, and speaking about those growing leadership qualities of Bukayo Saka as well.
Yeah, you'd expect him at some point to become Arsenal captain. I mean, not saying I'd wish Ødegaard away, but I mean, he just feels like he is Mr. Arsenal for Bukayo Saka. I think a lot of these fans identify themselves as with Bukayo Saka, being from, obviously, coming through the Haaland system, being here his whole life. I mean, a fantastic role model for the club as well, and his performance every single season is getting better and better.
Final 3, Sparta Prague 0, the latest score in the Champions League tonight. And there's another goal at Stamford Bridge in the Women's Champions League. Ian Abrahams.
Chelsea 4, SC 21. Since the Dutch side equalised, Chelsea have scored 3 in 8 minutes. This time, Aaron Cuthbert, keeper gave the ball away. Cuthbert in on goal. It went off the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Chelsea 4, FC 21.
And Arsenal close to making it 2-0. Partey's cross on the right-hand side. Martinelli 10 yards out. Right-footed. A little bit of a tame effort. Couldn't steer the ball on target. Stays just 1-0 to Arsenal. But they're really on top now, Darren Bent, I think.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's unlucky that for Martinelli as well, because not only does it pitch up just in front of him, I think Gabriel Jesus is just ahead of him as well. So maybe he's a little bit unsighted, but it's a good effort. It's just gone a little bit wide. But also just up the tempo just a little bit these last 10 minutes.
Here is Kamara for Monaco. He's poked the ball into the left wing position, and Ben Seguir, who goes back to the left back, Caio Henrique. Cardiff 0, Preston 0 is a half-time score in the Championship tonight. And in the later kick-off, the 8 o'clock kick-off, West Brom still lead Coventry by a goal to nil. Ødegaard has picked it beyond Kehrer. Ødegaard is racing through the middle, unchallenged. He's through. Oh, and he's rolled it wide. How? A massive missed opportunity. Ødegaard robbed Kehrer, raced forward 20 yards into the penalty area, onto his left foot, steered it wide of the post. Arsenal with great quality on the ball and great chance creation tonight. They should be 2 or 3 up.
I mean, that's 3 clear 1v1s, and Ødegaard, that's all his own work. I mean, it's fantastic work from a defensive perspective. He shuts down Kehrer. He shows the pace to get away from him as well, and can he show the composure? I mean, if I'm only criticising him a little bit, he doesn't change the angle. When Ødegaard's going through there, he doesn't shift it left, he doesn't go right, he just runs in a straight line, and that almost makes their finish a little bit more difficult, because the goalkeeper hasn't got to adjust. He just keeps his position, holds his ground, the goalkeeper, and then Martin Ødegaard ends up dragging the chance wide. But for someone with his quality, you'd expect him to at least hit the target. The fact that he hasn't done that, you just hope for Arsenal, because they've had 3 this first half. It doesn't come back to bite them a little bit.
Arsenal fans in front of us turning around to look at Darren Bent in disbelief. nobody knows how it's only 1-0 to Arsenal. It should be 2, 3, 4 maybe.
Well, people have spoke about our Arsenal creating enough opportunities because they've relied so heavily on set plays leading up to this game. They've had 3 clear-cut big chances and they haven't taken any of them.
But I think, in a sense, the fact that they are creating so many opportunities really is going to please Arteta. Interestingly, in the Premier League, their open play XG, 15.9 from 15 Premier League games. That would rank them 10th in the league. So there is an importance placed on set plays. Ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter how you score as long as you do. And Arsenal have already scored 1 tonight. They lead by 1-0.
I think that one there from Odegaard, that's just the only thing. I mean, he does all the hard work. He shuts down Kehrer, he nicks it off him, he shows the pace to accelerate away. But as I said, when he's driving towards the goal, he just doesn't change the angle. He just keeps getting in a straight line, and that means the goalkeeper doesn't have to adjust. The goalkeeper just kind of hold his ground.
Oh, they've given it away to Odegaard on the edge of the D. Lovely feed through to Martinelli, and he's put it wide. The flag is up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Flag goes up belatedly against Martinelli. But while Arsenal's chance creation is top level, the ability to finish off these free-flowing moves really has been sorely lacking. They've let Monaco off the hook.
I mean, if it finishes 1-0 and it goes into half-time, 1-0 up, Monaco will be thinking, no, thank goodness for that, because we've been let off the hook. They should be 5 down, minimum 5 down. And the fact, again, I think for Gabriel Jesus, at least he's hit the target on his 2, but the likes of Odegaard and Martinelli there, you're talking about 8 yards out. You have to hit the target.
Well, fortunately for Martinelli, Blush is spared. The checkered flag on the near side, orange and yellow, went straight up into the air from the assistant referee. 3 minutes plus added time remaining in the first half on Talksport. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0. And elsewhere in the Champions League tonight, Juventus 0, Manchester City 0 is the latest score. That's live over on Talksport 2, of course, tonight. AC Milan 1, Red Star 0 is the latest score. Sparta Prague have a goal back away at Feyenoord in the Champions League, but they still trail Sparta Prague by 3-1. Dortmund 0, Barcelona 0, Benfica 0, Bologna 0. And as I say, Juventus 0, Manchester City 0. Just download our free app to swipe between both Talksport stations at your leisure. Arsenal are on Talksport 2 this Saturday, by the way. 3 o'clock in the Premier League at home to Everton. Salisu for Monaco. Back to the goalkeeper, Maeki, whose goal has been under siege, really, from Arsenal for large parts of this first half. Now Partey in the right-back position, touches the ball forward to Rice on the halfway line. Little return ball to Saka, and Rice again back to the feet of Kivior. I don't think in terms of performance, Darren, Mikel Arteta could have asked for much more, really.
Just to be a little bit more ruthless. I think they've worked really hard, you'd have to say. Certainly the first 15 minutes was a little bit more difficult, where Monaco were full of energy, really trying to press Arsenal. But since then, since the tempo's kind of died down a little bit, Arsenal should have capitalised on some of these chances. They've worked hard defensively, Arsenal, win the ball back high up, and that's where they've got their opportunities from. But when you get opportunities like that, you have to take them.
Arsenal give the ball away through Saliba. Odegaard slides in to poke it back to Saliba, as Salisu looked to find Ben Seguir in the left-sided position for Monaco. 90 seconds of normal time remaining at the end of the first half. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0 in the Champions League on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van. Some of the Arsenal fans heading for the concourse areas ahead of kick-off, ahead of half-time. Arsenal go back to the teenager Lewis Skelly, who's standing on halfway, and he gets the return ball from Rice. What have you made of Miles Lewis Skelly so far?
I think he's done really well. I think he's not really had to do too much out there, but when he's been asked to defend, he's put his challenges in, 1 or 2 fouls. But I think that inverted fullback, he's gone in there, he looks so comfortable in there, cultured left foot, and he's not looked overawed, especially in this, because this is the biggest game he's played. He's not looked overawed at all.
Marino ball square from the edge of the penalty area. Jesus with his back to goal couldn't reach it, and Kamara surges forward for Monaco up towards halfway. Tripped by Martinelli, who has got to be careful, remember, having already been booked. And the free kick given to Monaco, and no more punishment for Martinelli, who might have had his heart in his mouth for a moment there.
Again, that's one of those where I don't think it's a booking, but you've seen it in Champions League games before where they're breaking Monaco, and yes, it's probably not a blatant foul like the first one was, but you've tripped him up either way. I think he's a bit fortunate there.
Martinelli stays on his yellow card. Vanderson on the halfway line, tackled by Jesus, tracking back effectively. And now Rice with the sweeping ball, right to left and well controlled by Martinelli, who takes it in its stride. Saka in the middle, so to Ødegaard. 1-0 Arsenal as the home fans get to their feet into a minute of added time at the end of the first half. There's a foul by Martinelli on Kamara, and that will be a free kick to Monaco. Just that minute of added time, and that's the cue for even more Arsenal fans to stand up and head for the concourses now. Once we're done tonight at the Emirates, you can have your say on the sports bar 03717 223344 to speak to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Taking your calls from 10, and then more live football tomorrow, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We've got Southampton against Tottenham and Chelsea against Brentford on Sunday. Jason Cundy and Jermaine Pennant, the former Arsenal winger, on Sports Bar tonight. Akliouche with a low shot for Monaco, and it's gathered by David Raya. That, I think, is their first effort on target.
Do you know, I just wonder at half-time, will Mikel Arteta look at the Martinelli situation? Because, yes, he's been booked, but the last two challenges, I mean, he's run the risk a little bit of getting himself sent off there. So I wonder if he'll just look at the bench potentially and go, do you know what? There's a chance you might get yourself sent off.
Well, an exciting and an eventful first half as the half-time whistle goes, and Arsenal lead by 1-0. Bukayo Saka, after 34 minutes, fired ball across to feed him from Gabriel Jesus right along the edge of the 6-yard line, and Saka there to steer it home from close range. So Jesus himself has missed a hat-trick of chances. Ødegaard should have scored for Arsenal as well, and Martinelli likewise, though his would have been ruled out because the flag was up anyway. A lot of positives in the first half performance for Arsenal. The only negative, realistically, is that they haven't scored more, and with the lead being a slender one, Monaco just about still in the match. Arsenal, though, as it stands, heading into that crucial top 8 in the Champions League table. At half-time on Talksport, it's Arsenal 1, Monaco 0.
On Talksport 2, it's Juventus 0, Man City 0 at half-time, and Ireland's had the biggest chance, one-on-one. Di Gregorio threw up a giant arm and knocked that one off target. So it's 0-0 in Turin. That's live on Talksport 2. But I noticed as the half-time whistle went here at the Emirates, Darren Bent, Martin Ødegaard threw his arms in the air, deeply frustrated that Arsenal haven't put this to bed already. They should be 5-0 up, shouldn't they?
I mean, the way the game started, it was quite cagey. Monaco, I thought, defended quite well, really pressed Arsenal, didn't allow them to kind of play in their half. But as the game wore on and they got more tired, the gap started to appear. And when you think they're coming in at half-time, Arsenal 1-0 up, it should be 5. I mean, they've missed. As players, you want to create almost the perfect opportunity, but you want to create those clear-cut chances. It couldn't have fallen any better for Arsenal in that first half. They had chances to go through. Gabriel Jesus could have broke his duck. He had 2 glorious chances. I know he played a big part in the goal. Even someone like Martin Ødegaard, whose standards are so high, he misses the target. They've almost let Monaco off the hook there that first half.
Well, they have Martinelli's chance, by the way. The flag did go up, but when you looked at the replay, he was onside. That would have counted. So they have missed some serious chances in that first half. And I made you right about Martinelli. I think the miss went to his head. He's committed the foul he didn't really need to commit and got a yellow. I mean, and then there was a breakaway. He's committed another foul. There's another one where they're coming away with the ball. Monaco, he's committed a foul. His head seems to have gone, which is a little bit weird, but Arteta has to look at that. He's got subs on the bench.
I think he's going to. And again, I don't think any of them were particularly nasty. The first one was a little bit cynical, but you're right, Aid. There was not too much dissimilar from the second foul where they're breaking away and he just almost shoulder barges him over. But again, when he's over the far side and they're about to break out from their own box, he commits another foul. I just think you run the risk. Don't ask the referee a question. I just think Arteta might look at that and go, do you know what? Because Martinelli's so high energetic and he's always up and down, everything's 100 miles an hour, all it takes him to do is one mistimed challenge where he doesn't even mean to do it. He commits the foul and he's off.
And that could be a game changer. Let's go back to the goal, though, because I think it's a brilliant goal and there's 3 players really involved with it. I want to go to Miles Lewis-Skelly because what he does is absolutely brilliant. He won't get an assist for it, he won't get a goal for it, but it's absolutely brilliant, right? Ødegaard's on the right-hand side. He has to come back out, switches it over to Lewis-Skelly on the left-hand side. Now, Lewis-Skelly's, the ball, it is to Lewis-Skelly, but he's got a player on him straight away. His first touch has to be brilliant. It is. Second thing he has to do right is win his 50-50. It's probably a 60-40 he's got with his opponent. He cannot afford to lose the ball because the Monaco player then has acres to run into. He wins that challenge, absolutely crucial, and then sets himself for a slide rule ball through to Gabriel Jesus that is 100% perfect. Jesus' ball is brilliant, the finish is superb. For Miles Lewis Skelly, 18, he receives a difficult ball from Odegaard. First touch superb, wins his challenge with his opponent, and then a brilliant pass. That is top draw stuff.
Top quality, because as you said there, the first touch had to be perfect. But not only that, a lot of young players in that position, they would have controlled it first time, maybe won the 50-50 and then gone backwards, because they've gone, right, I've won my challenge, just so I don't give it away, I don't want to do anything too risky, I'll go back to Saliba or I'll go back to Kivior. He does it, he gets his head up and sees Gabriel Jesus put into a really nice area. But not only does he feed it in there, it's the weighter pass as well. He doesn't try and fire it in there where Gabriel Jesus has got to take a touch, he just leaves it in there. And as I said, from Gabriel Jesus, he's a centre forward, he knows how he would like to receive the ball, and he just rolls it across the 6-yard box. And the easiest part of that whole goal is the tapping from Saka. But again, Saka being a good wide player that he is, he does what all good wide players should do. He gets into that 6-yard box in the back post and he taps it in the empty net. Really, really nice goal from Arsenal.
Yeah, Saka's part in it isn't about the finish, it's about the run that he makes, and he gets there ahead of his man, and that's crucial obviously, and he puts it in the back of the net. How's Gabriel Jesus feeling now? Because that's a brilliant ball, he's played his part in the goal, he has missed sitters tonight.
Do you know, it's one of them where you're walking in and yes, he's got the assist for the goal, so you're thinking, right, he's done some good. All his teammates will be saying to him, because I've been there before they began, keep going, you'll get one, you'll get one. You keep doing what you're doing, you'll get one. What you don't want him to do is shy away from making the same runs, because if he starts to come a little bit deeper, he won't get them opportunities. What he's got to do is put those chances out of his head. There's nothing he can do about it now, they're gone. He's got to think, right, the next one that comes along, I'm going to take it. And if he misses that one, he has to keep going. And his movement's been good, his touch has been good. He's already supplied one goal for Saka. His general play has been all round good. It's that last little bit of quality, what you get judged on when you're a centre forward, is how many times you put the ball in the back of the net. And unfortunately for himself tonight, he's missed two big ones.
Quick one on Monaco. Let's face it, tonight, after 5 games, they came into this game, same record as Arsenal. They've beaten Barcelona in this Champions League as well. Any danger they might turn up tonight?
I know, I'm the same, mate. I thought after the first 10 minutes they made it difficult. I thought, right, they've done the first part, which is quiet in the crowd, make it a little bit more difficult for Arsenal. Since the game's kind of wore on, they've almost dropped further and further back. There's been players that haven't stopped running, but haven't really created any clear-cut chances, so you expect them second half to come out, and that might play into Arsenal's hands.
Darren, for the time being, thanks very much. Arsenal lead, but they have missed chances. Bukayo Saka with the only goal. Who else? Arsenal 1, Monaco 0, live on Talksport. Let's get half-time at Stamford Bridge in the Women's Champions League. Ian Abrahams.
Chelsea 4, FC 21. Chelsea ahead. Macario, beautiful lob over the goalkeeper, took the ball down on her thigh and then lobbed it on the volley over the keeper to start the scoring off on 2 minutes. But then FC 20 hit back just before the half-hour mark. Needless penalty given away and converted. That only annoyed Chelsea. Jean-Francois a minute later made it 2-1. Ramirez with a lob from 35, 40 yards out. Outrageous goal, made it 3-1. Erin Cuthbert then took the ball from Olivia Clark and hit the ball off the goalkeeper's legs to make it 4-1. 14 wins out of 14 honing into view. Chelsea 4, FC 21.
And this midweek, Alex Crook has finally seen a goal in the Championship at Loftus Road, Alex.
It's a Christmas miracle. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Oxford 0. I have to say, this has not been the best game I've seen this season, but this is a really quality goal for the home side. It started with a cross from the right-hand side. Ryan Colley scored twice here at the weekend. He cushioned the header down inside the penalty area, and it's been swept in on the volley by Sam Field. QPR much the better team since half-time. It has been coming. As it stands, they're on course for their first back-to-back wins of the season. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Oxford 0.
And another goal in the Championship. Preston lead 1-0 at Cardiff. Remember when Wenger signed Callum Chambers for Arsenal? I thought he was going to turn him into the player England needed. Well, he's now at Cardiff. He's just scored an own goal tonight. Cardiff 0, Preston 1, Hull 0, Watford 0. Sheffield United going back top. They're 1-0 up at Millwall. QPR lead 1-0 and West Brom 1. Coventry 0 at half-time as well. In the Women's Champions League, Chelsea are 4-1 up. Celtic a goal down at home to Real Madrid at Hamilton. And in the Champions League, half-times, AC Milan 1, Red Star Belgrade 0, Arsenal 1, Monaco 0 here at the Emirates, Benfica 0, Bologna 0, Dortmund 0, Barcelona 0. Rafinha's missed a really good chance for Barcelona. Final 3, Sparta Prague 1, Juve 0, Man City 0, live on Talksport 2, and Stuttgart 1, Young Boys 1. But we're at the Emirates. Arsenal lead 1-0. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
It's Black Friday. You're looking about for a great deal on the Samsung Galaxy S24. With O2, you can save up to £920. You could ask Dave next door. Overhear a rumour on the train. Stare into a crystal ball. Or just search O2 Black Friday to find your deal today. O2. See what you can do.
£920 saving consists of £248.48 device discount plus £14 per month airtime discount over 48 months. Ends 11th of December. Credit by Telefonica UK Limited. Eligibility and terms apply.
I'm home, Mum.
Dad.
Kids.
Right, I've got a call in the office.
Spinning in the lounge. Gaming in my bedroom. Well, I'm live streaming in the kitchen. I need to watch the footy.
When everyone's caning the broadband, EE's new Wi-Fi 7 router makes every device work better, even yours.
Hello, guys.
My perfect Spagwell hat for you.
And with your next breath, reach your arm.
Upgrade to Wi-Fi 7 on EE, and we'll sort the switch for you.
43.7% UK availability. Smart Hub Pro and Smart Wi-Fi Pro available with selected EE full fibre plans. Terms apply.
Or Bet have the tools you need. Like time alerts to remind you how long you've been playing. Or self-exclusion. Make sure you're in control of your gambling, not the other way round. Find out more at safergambling.talksportbet.com.
TV Mag, free inside the sun. Grab a pen and sit down to plan all your festive fun. Oh, TV Mag, double issue size. Grandad snores through Strictly after eating 10 mince pies. Hey!
You'd be crackers to spend a £5 on the Radio Times this Christmas when you can get a free TV Mag with The Sun. Get your 120-page double issue Christmas and New Year TV Mag this Saturday in The Sun.
Yo, football fans, listen up. BetMGM brings Vegas entertainment to the biggest games and the biggest names. Because when it comes to betting on football, we're in a league of our own, baby. Offers? Oh, you know we got offers. Like bet £10, you get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. 18+. Please gamble responsibly.
Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent on Talksport Drive with Motorpoint. Destination sports conversation fueled by unfiltered opinion with quality guests as standard and a couple of motor mouths.
Something's not right, is it?
That's rubbish.
It's the daily radio road trip that takes you to the farthest corners of the nation's football fanscape.
I'm just in my flat, chilling out.
Yeah, I think you might be my favourite so far, Martin. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Talksport Drive, tomorrow afternoon from 4 on Talksport with Motorpoint. There's no car like a Motorpoint car.
Champions League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs.
On AM, on DAB, on the app and on your smart speaker. Kick off with Adrian Durham on Talksport.
We're back here at the Emirates. Arsenal 1 up at half-time. Second half to come live on Talksport. We're going to hear from Ange Postecoglou in a moment ahead of Rangers Spurs. That's live on Talksport tomorrow night in the Europa League. But let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
So Arsenal 1, Monaco 0. Arsenal 11-1 on to win. The draw 15-2. Monaco at 28-1. Gabriel Jesus to score any time was 5-2. It's been boosted to 7-2. Over on Talksport 2, it's still Juventus 0, Man City 0. Juve 18-5 to win it. City 6-5. The draw 29-20. That was the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeatGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Christmas around the corner. Talksport Network is your home of festive football. Look at Boxing Day. We've got 10 live commentaries. Boxing Day alone. And in this month of December, 50 live commentaries in this month of December alone as well. You're with the right place. This is Talksport. You're listening to the Champions League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Now, tomorrow night live on Talksport, out of form Tottenham Hotspur travel to Glasgow to face Rangers in the Europa League. Spurs have won just once in 7 after losing 4-3 at home to Chelsea on Sunday. Vice-captain Christian Romero criticised the lack of investment in the squad over the last few seasons and seemingly criticised the owners. Well, this evening, Romero's head coach Ange Postecoglou looked to clarify some of those comments.
He realises what he said. A lot of what he said was good. Some of what he said wasn't right and shouldn't be done in the public. I also believe that these things, we deal with them, within our own sort of four walls, because there's always issues and that we need to deal with. And the same way I wouldn't publicly criticise a player or anyone else, I don't think we should be doing that.
Sticking up for his man, I guess, but I think some of the fans maybe think he's got a point, Romero. 7 p.m. tomorrow night, live on Talksport. Join Hugh Wozencroft live from Ibrox as Rangers take on Spurs in another Battle of Britain in the Europa League. Earlier on Talksport 2, 5:45 for Man United in Europe. 3:30, even earlier, Talksport 2 for Chelsea in Europe. Let's go around the grounds in the Championship to the Den. First of all, what's happening early second half? Charlotte Richardson.
Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1. Neil Harris's side behind in his final game in charge here at the Den. The work rate and endeavour is there, the clinical moment and composure in front of goal not, and that is the difference. The visitors showing how it's done. Rhian Brewster with the tap in from close range. That is still the difference between these sides. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1.
And to the K-Con, what's happening there? Talksport's Mike McCarthy.
Nearly an hour gone. Hull 0, Watford 0. Best chance of the match so far falling to João Pedro, the Hull striker, drawing a quality low stop from Backman after Palmer put him through from halfway. Excellent save, keeping it goalless. Ruben Sayers leaping up and down in the technical area, the new Hull boss, demanding more of his players when they don't press properly, but it's still goalless. Hull 0, Watford 0.
And Cardiff 0, Preston 1. QPR lead Oxford 1-0. And in the 8 o'clock kickoff, West Bromwich Albion 1. Coventry 0. Keeping you updated with all the goals as they go in this second half. It is kickoff on Talksport live at the Emirates as the players are on their way out for the second half. Those missed chances, will they be crucial as far as the Gunners are concerned? Every time Gabriel Jesus was through, it was like Darren Bent in front of a dartboard. You knew he was going to miss, and he did.
Honestly, you still bringing that up? I thought we were letting that go.
I was just painting the picture for the listeners.
Yeah,
but listen, you did well to
get to the first round,
to finish second. You're back with Goldstein tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah. It's not like he gives you any stick. Yeah, exactly. I think he'll have forgotten by then, won't he?
Of course, yeah. You know him better than anyone. Come on.
I tell you what, Troy Deeney was good today on Drive. Darren Bent will be even better tomorrow. Back with Andy Goldstein, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on Talksport. Arsenal in a huddle as Monaco make their way out, and they are making changes as well. We'll find out exactly what's going to happen there at the Emirates as the fans start to retake their seats. Arsenal should be leading by loads, but it's Arsenal 1, Monaco 0, second half, live on Talksport right now with former England striker Darren Bent, alongside your commentator, Joe Shannon.
So maybe you'll get your night to remember, Adrian, after all, who knows? And the half-time change is for Monaco, and it's a familiar name, Takumi Minamino, formerly of Liverpool, on in place of Magassa at half-time. So youth has made way for the experience. 2 years he spent at Liverpool. Minamino, there was a loan spell at Southampton in that time, and Monaco seeing fit to make a change after really being overrun for large parts of the first half. The second half begins live on Talksport. Monaco kickers off all in dark green, playing from left to right towards the clock end in the second half, and Arsenal from right to left towards the North Bank in their familiar red and white. No changes at half-time for Arsenal. Jesus on the burst down the middle straight away. Martinelli with a run ahead of him. Couldn't get the right side of Vanderson. And Monaco will smuggle the ball away. So Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. Their lead should be far greater, as it is just a slender one. Akliouche at the other end for Monaco. Was he tripped by Kivior? The referee, after some hesitation, gives Monaco a free kick midway inside Arsenal territory. So Arsenal with Raya in goal, Partey, Saliba, Kivior and Luis Skelly, Ødegaard, Marino and Rice, Saka, Jesus and Martinelli. Saka the goal scorer tonight. And for Monaco, the goalkeeper is Maeki, Vanderson, Kehrer, Salisu and Caio Henrique. And Minamino onto the field now in midfield with Akliouche, Golovin, Kamara and Ben Seguir and Bolo up front. And now Arsenal have to defend a set play. And so prolific with their attacking set pieces, Arsenal. Free kick to Monaco, 10 yards in field. Akliouche will leave it for Kamara to deliver, and the header is just wide. Kehrer jumping, and so too was Salisu. Dangerous ball whipped into the penalty area by Kamara, as plenty of Arsenal fans are still retaking their seats in the second half, and it was the captain Kehrer through a crowd of bodies, only a few yards wide of Raya's left-hand post. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0, and here's Darren Bent.
I mean, it's a great ball in for Kamara. It's Thomas Partey. He drops far too early, and that's where the space comes from. And Kehrer, I mean, it's almost a free header, and he just gets too much on it. But it all comes from Thomas Partey dropping far too deep, too early, and that just unsettled that Arsenal backline.
Juventus against Manchester City, still 0-0, and that's live on Talksport 2 right now. Just download our app and you can swipe between both stations at your leisure. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0 on Talksport. Akliouche pokes the ball down the inside right to Ben Seguir. On the overlap is Embolo. That's a good sliding challenge from Rice. Well timed. The Arsenal subs, by the way, tonight. Set for the net of the goalkeepers. Jorginho, Havertz, Trossard, Sterling, Timber, Tierney, and Waneri, Heaven, Monlouis and Robinson, the rest of the Arsenal subs. Monaco go back to the halfway line, and Salisu, there's another goal in the Women's Champions League at Chelsea. Ian Abraham.
Chelsea 5, FC 21. Jamie on the pitch a minute after coming on as a half-time sub. Suki Nuskin flicking ahead at home. Chelsea 5, FC 21.
Thanks, Ian. Still Celtic 0, Real Madrid 1 elsewhere in the Women's Champions League. Here come Monaco, started the second half brightly, and it's an opportunity for Golovin to deliver left-footed. That's come off William Saliba, who gets across to prevent the corner impressively. Saka will smuggle it further clear. Monaco are having the better of it in terms of possession and territory early in the second half, and that flick down the middle from Akliouche couldn't quite find Embolo. He was slow on the uptake, and it's gathered by David Raya.
Yeah, Monaco have come out the second half really sharp on the front foot. They've almost feel like they've probably got a new lease of life because of the way that first half ended and the amount of chances that Arsenal missed. They probably thought, well, you know what, if we go for it, there's a chance it's only 1-0, we can get something out of this game, because really and truly this game should be over by now, and it's not. They're still in it, and there's still an opportunity for them.
Hat-trick of chances for Jesus in the first half, though he did set up Saka's goal. Ødegaard clean through, inexplicable miss also for Arsenal. You're absolutely right, Darren, it should be 4 or 5. On a chilly night in North London, Arsenal playing from right to left, and Darren's put the big coat on now over the heated gilet.
Yeah, the heated gilet weren't quite doing it. I toughened it up for as long as I can. I've got a roll neck on, and it's the heated gilet, and I was giving it, yeah, I'm fine, I'll be alright, and honestly, crumbled.
You survived a half, and now the big coat's on. Here is Ødegaard, infield from the Arsenal right, back to Thomas Partey on halfway. Quick ball to Saka, who couldn't scamper across to keep it in. It was a poorly hit ball, really, that by Partey, and out of play for a throw. Taken by Caio Henrique. Sorry, Darren.
No, it's fine. They just need to settle down. I think Arsenal the second half. I mean, the first, 5 minutes you'd have to say. It's been all Monaco. They're the ones who've settled quickly. They're the ones who've got that kind of energy so far this second half. And Arsenal needs to relax maybe. We saw Monaco do that in the first stage of the game. I mean, it quickly kind of disintegrated once Arsenal got on the front foot and started to move the ball really well.
Arsenal heading into the top 8 once again in the Champions League. They are back in Premier League action on Saturday here at 3 o'clock against Everton, in a game you can hear live on Talksport 2 as Arsenal's title challenge continues. Kamara on the halfway line, back to Thilo Kehrer, the former West Ham defender, wearing number 5 on the back of his dark green shirt. Monaco now with Akliouche. Good ball forward to Vanderson on the overlap near side the right. Arsenal haven't quite got going really in the second half so far. Back it goes to Kehrer. 5 minutes into the second period on Talksport. Arsenal have the advantage, but the lead is a slender one by a goal to nil. Embolo's touch, hit on the volley by Minamino. That lifted up nicely for him, but he sliced it miles high and wide, and after hanging in the air for an age, it just dips into the fans behind the goal. Let's get news of a goal at QPR in the Championship. Alex Crook.
A second goal for the home side and a second for Sam Field to double Rangers' lead. It all came from great work down the left from Koki Saito. A really mazy run from him. He pulled the ball back to the edge of the area and it's side-footed home by Field. QPR 2, Oxford 0.
QPR's revival under Marti Cifuentes of late continues. Here come Monaco. Out on the far side, the left again is the dark-haired Minamino, but the flag is up against him right in front of the Monaco fans, and that'll be a free kick to Arsenal in their right-back area as Mikel Arteta paces around with Albert Stuyvenberg, his assistant, just behind him, and Arsenal have got plenty warming up on the near side touchline, Darren.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Arteta would have been happy with the first 6 minutes that he's seen in the second half because they just haven't got going. They've been quite sloppy in possession. I mean, Martinelli had the ball about 2 minutes ago and he put Lewis Skelly in an awful position. He ended up giving the ball away. They settled down, maybe weather this first couple of minutes, but then once they settled into their rhythm in that first half, it caused Monaco so many problems. They cut through them so easily. They've got to find a way of doing that again in the second half.
Here is Gabriel Jesus, lovely touch 30 yards out, but adjudged to a foul. The leaping Salisu and a free kick to Monaco. Manchester City are a goal behind again. Juventus 1, Manchester City 0. Commentary live right now over on Talksport 2. Manchester City looking like 1 win in 10. Good ball by Kehrer for Monaco. Up the inside right. Chasing is Vanderson. Good ball across the face of goal. Nobody there in a green shirt to convert. Minamino holds it up. Back to Golovin. Corner of the area. Golovin scampers in field. Arsenal get men back behind the ball. Golovin out to the left. And Minamino once more taking on Saka through the legs of Partey. But nothing on that from Minamino. And easy for Raya in that luminous yellow goalkeeping shirt to come out and claim.
If you're Vanderson in that scenario there, you're absolutely screaming at Mbolo because you do everything right. You sprint 60 yards, you put the ball into a fantastic area across that 6-yard box, and he's standing on the edge of the box. Like Vanderson, it's fantastic play from him, and they're the type of opportunities Monaco are going to get. And if you do get those opportunities, you have to load the box. And the fact that you set the balls on the edge of the box, I wouldn't be happy with that.
Lovely ball, Rice out to the left, and Martinelli at the north bank end of the ground. Martinelli to the dead ball line, chips in the cross over the head of Saka. And the ball will be collected at the back post by Minamino, who brings it down calmly. Dusan Vlahovic got the goal for Juventus, by the way, in Turin against Manchester City. 1-0 Juventus on Talksport 2 and Borussia Dortmund 0, Barcelona 1 is the latest score in the Champions League tonight. Manchester City, by the way, 19th position in the Champions League table, and as it stands, they are 5 points adrift, I make it, of the top 8. Arsenal, of course, very much ensconced in the top 8 in the Champions League table. So it's a throw to Monaco. Left back position on the far side of the field. A long way from our commentary position in the lower tier of the West Stand, very close to the dugouts. And Monaco overhit the ball crossfield. Arsenal will have a throw in their left back position. And here comes the youngster, Lewis Skelly, to take it. 18 years of age, just his second appearance, second start in an Arsenal shirt. And with Manchester City in action in the Champions League tonight, they are behind, as you've been hearing, away at Juventus. Let's hear how it sounded live over on Talksport 2 with Ian Danter.
Ball sent back into the box by Yildiz, and what a save on the line by Edison to deny Vlahovic, but the goal's been given. Vlahovic has put Juve ahead.
So Edison with a poor bit of goalkeeping for Manchester City again, brought back into the side tonight in place of Ortega, and he's conceded to Dusan Vlahovic and Juventus. Stuttgart 2, Young Boys 1 is the latest score in the Champions League. Young Boys who are pointless in the league phase so far. Here come Monaco out on the right with Vanderson to deliver a low cross. Mbolo at the near post, and it was tucked behind by Kivior before Mbolo could get there. Corner to Monaco, Darren Bent.
They're doing really well on this side. It's Vanderson again who makes a really good run. He's running between Miles Skelly then. He's trying to get back, and the only thing there, I mean, this time Mbolo, he sprints into the 6-yard box, and the cross is just behind him there. But again, it looks like this right-hand side for Monaco is kind of the avenue out, because there's been a couple of times now in the last couple of minutes where they've got in just behind the Arsenal backline.
It's a corner to Monaco on the near side. Ben Seguir will take it. It'll be a right-footed outswinger 10 minutes into the second half. Lofted in by Ben Seguir into the 6-yard box. An easy take for Raya, high above his head. Poor delivery from Ben Seguir. Raya wanted, I think, to try and take a quick throw, but couldn't find anybody in support, and so Raya is still holding on to the ball. latest scores in the Championship. Cardiff 0, Preston 1, Hull 0, Watford 0, Millwall 0, Sheffield United heading top 1, QPR 2, Oxford 0, and in the 8 o'clock kick-off, West Brom 1, Coventry 0 is the latest score. Cleared away by Raya, up towards halfway, didn't get very far, intercepted by Akliouche. Monaco have it back. Monaco, probably the better side in the second half so far.
Well, in Arsenal giving him everything. I mean, David Raya there tried a ball that wasn't even on. He tried to whip it between 3 players, and Monaco just knew that he was what he was trying to do, and just closed off the space. And Arsenal got to, even if they get up for 10 minutes and start playing in Monaco's half, they need to stop trying to play out from the back at the minute, because Monaco are pressing them really well.
Then Shaqiri on the corner of the penalty area, sandwiched in between 2 red and white Arsenal shirts. It's held up by the tall and slender Akliouche. Back to Minamino, edge of the D, dinks it forward towards Mbolo. Marino back to Raya, heavy back pass, and Raya clears right-footed, and Mikel Arteta screaming at his Arsenal players to push upfield, play at least 10-20 yards further forward than they are, and he's outside his technical area now, Arteta.
They've made that technical area a bit better. Well, they need to.
Needs to be another 10 yards longer, doesn't it? Arteta screaming at his players away to our right. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0 in the Champions League, live on Talksport tonight with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Raya in possession again. Forward to Saliba on the edge of the penalty area. The Monaco fans are bouncing up and down in the away section. Lovely skill, Marino, to turn neatly away from Kamara, and then he threads the ball down the left-hand side to Martinelli. Arsenal fans on their feet. 3 in the middle to aim at for Martinelli. Left-footed low ball in and turned away by Salisu. Could easily have been an own goal. Here comes the Arsenal corner and the great roar. Their first corner of the night. Here comes Saliba up from the back.
Do you know what? It's great play from Moreno, who kind of beats the press on the half turn, and he puts a defence splitting pass to Martinelli. But Martinelli puts it across where there's no Arsenal player. I mean, on the eye, it looks like a good ball, but it's an opportunity gone, because Odegaard makes a fantastic bit of movement. He goes into the 6-yard box and he just pulls back out on the penalty spot, and Martinelli doesn't see him. And that's an opportunity gone, because if he pulls it back, Odegaard's got a free shot of goal.
12 goals from set plays in all competitions this season for Arsenal, excluding penalties. Here they are with their first corner of the night in front of the North Bank. There's an expectation almost that they'll score. They scored 2 at this end against Manchester United in the Premier League of late. Now, what's going on at the back post? There's a tangle between Saliba and his marker, possibly. Partey as well. And Martinelli standing arms outstretched, waiting maybe for the corner to be taken short to him by Rice. The referee satisfied that he's dealt with the issue. Partey is forward, Kivior, Jesus and Marino. Rice will take the corner, and he's placed the ball down again as Declan Rice. Gabriel, of course, to make that late darting run, but Saliba's got 2 in 2. He's on the edge of the 6-yard box. Here goes Rice, one arm up into the air, 1-0 to Arsenal. Just shy of the hour mark, delivered in by Rice, right-footed to the back post, punched away by the goalkeeper on the stretch. Partey will get to the loose ball. He retrieves it in the right wing position. Back to Jesus. Infield to Marino. Good control edge of the box. Tackled by Mbolo. It's dropped down to Partey, and his first touch was heavy. Monaco scramble it clear. Fouled by Marino on Mbolo. Arsenal fans should have, or felt, they should have had a free kick before that. In the end, it's Monaco's ball.
Yeah, that whole passage was a waste. I mean, the ball from Declan Rice wasn't the best. Got too much on it to the back post, but even then Gabriel Jesus retrieves it, and he plays a lovely little pass into Moreno. He wants the 1-2, but Moreno opted to kind of turn backwards. He ends up giving the ball away. They're breaking. He ends up committing the foul and getting themselves booked. I think it's decision making, I think, at the minute for Arsenal in that final third. That's just letting them down a little bit.
Well, they're going to make a couple of changes, it looks like. 03717 223344 to speak to Jason Cundy and the former Arsenal man Jermaine Pennant once we're done tonight with the Sports Bar on Talksport. Arsenal fans on their feet. 1-0 to Arsenal. Just under an hour play. In the Champions League, Arsenal will have 2 league phase matches left. Here against Dinamo Zagreb and then away at Girona. David Raya Ball out towards the left-back area. Here is Marino right in front of the Monaco dugout. Under pressure from Kamara, back to Kivior, lofts the ball forward. Poor ball, straight to Golovin. Brings it down neatly. That was careless from Kivior, even though he was under a little bit of pressure.
Do you know what? It was poor, Joe, but in that scenario there, I don't actually mind that. Rather than trying to squeeze a pass that's just not on, and Arsenal end up giving the ball away, try and get I know he tried to pick out Odegaard and it didn't get there, but at least he's tried to play a little bit further up the pitch rather than a little intricate ball into midfield and it getting lost again.
Absolutely. Here is Akliouche for Monaco, crowded out. Half interception from Martinelli. It's come back to Akliouche. That was careless from Arsenal, certainly defensively. Golovin has threaded the ball out to the left. He's cut back onto his right, crossed deep to the back post. Van der Sar trying to pull it back, blocked off by Kivior. Still jeopardy in the game. Arsenal should be well clear, but they only need 1-0. Kivior does well in the one-on-one with Van der Sar. Jorginho and Trossard getting ready to come on for Mikel Arteta's team. Borussia Dortmund 1, Barcelona 1 in the Champions League, and Stuttgart 3, Young Boys 1. Lewis Skelly, ball up to the halfway line. He was fouled, I thought. Referee said no. Play continues with Monaco's Kamara. Dinks it over the top. Out comes Raya. Plucks it out of the air.
Yeah, I thought it was a foul there. Lewis Skelly does fantastically well. He wins the ball back. He drives with it. There's probably 2 or 3 fouls. But because he gives the ball away at the end, I generally thought the referee would have brought it back, but he didn't. But I can understand, look at the substitutions. Jorginho is the perfect example. That's the guy. He had to come on because Arsenal have lost complete control of this game. They're not dominating possession. They're not trying to build up from the back. They keep giving the ball away. And in this type of scenario, this game has been crying out for Jorginho.
Jorginho, Trossard and Timber about to come onto the field. Juventus 1, Manchester City 0. It remains over on Talksport 2 tonight. Arsenal leading 1-0 against Monaco. Ball is with the Monaco goalkeeper, Mayeki, and he finds Kehrer. Kehrer threads the ball up towards the left of the centre circle. Good control by Ben Shaqir. Back to Akliouche. Floated pass, crossfield, right to left. Well brought down by Caio Henrique. The left back looks up. He thinks about a cross. He's trying to jink away from Saka. Saka tracks back well. Caio Henrique keeps it in, back to Minamino. And that's a big chance for Monaco. A soft effort for Minamino. Easily saved by Raya. But it is a warning for Arsenal.
Yeah, again, Minamino pulls off to a nice pocket of space there. I mean, it would have had to have been a great strike from that type of angle to beat Raya from there, because he couldn't have generated the power. He tried to just do it with the side foot and guide it into that far corner, but this is a real wake-up call for Arsenal because of for the 70 minutes in this second half. You'd have to say Monaco have been by far the better team. Look like the side that's going to go and get the next goal.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? Just under half an hour of normal time to go. Martinelli charges away from Van der Sar, dragged to the ground, yellow card, and a free kick to Arsenal inside the centre circle. Well, it's not a bad 3 to bring on, is it? Jorginho, Trossard and Jurrien Timber. With Monaco having had more of the ball in the second half so far, maybe that's part of the thinking. Off goes Miles Lewis Skelly, the 18-year-old. Declan Rice likewise. A night that Lewis Skelly certainly won't forget. Full Champions League debut. And who's the third player leaving the field? Haven't been told just yet. Martinelli also going off. So what do you reckon, Darren? Is that near enough straight swaps, do you think?
Yeah, Jorginho, just to control possession. That was the right one for me, that Jorginho. Lewis Skelly going off was a bit of a surprise, but when you've got Timber on the bench as well, I can understand that, because he's a fantastic defender. A little bit more experience, Arsenal on the back foot a little bit. And then Leandro Trossard, I think he's more effective when he comes off the bench. I know he's had big moments when he starts game, but just, I think of late, when he's started games, he hasn't really affected it as much. But when he comes off the bench, he just adds something a little bit different. And yeah, I can understand it. But it looks like Jakub Kiwior is going to go at left back and Timber in at centre half, so that makes sense.
Given away by Arsenal not once but twice, and Minamino looks for Mbolo, who spins and shoots and hits it wide. Should have scored the equaliser. Mbolo's hands to his head. Arsenal fans out of their seats in disbelief. Arsenal gave it away twice in quick succession, and Mbolo on the turn. For a striker of his quality, he's got to hit the back of the net. It should be 1-1.
Do you know what? It's Saliba as well. He tries to thread a pass that's just not on, and Minamino reads it really, really well. And the only problem with that, when it comes across your body like that to Mbolo, is that there's not a lot of the goal to hit, and the goalkeeper would know that. So even if he hits the target, I think Ray would probably save it. But it's a great opportunity for Monaco.
Arsenal quite careless in possession in the second half. They can't really retain the ball 20 minutes into this second period, as The ball trickles into the gloves of the Monaco goalkeeper, Maeki. There's a goal in the Championship at Hull City. Which way, Mike McCarthy?
It is the first goal of the Ruben Sayers era at Hull City. Chris Bedier with a goal. Crossing from the right-hand side. It bobbled around in the 6-yard box. Bedier is claiming it. Don't know how much he knew about it, but with 10 to go, Hull 1, Watford 0.
And that will be enough to lift Hull City off the bottom of the Championship table as it stands in their first game under Ruben Sayers. Crossfield ball by Jorginho. Jesus with a clever flick. Trossard is behind him. Left corner of the penalty area. Trossard steers it across. Odegaard's effort saved by the goalkeeper. First time left-footed, and it was close enough to Maeki that he could palm it away. The flag is up anyway, so it wouldn't have counted, Darren Bent.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure which one was the offside. Was it the first one to Gabriel Jesus, or was it the Martinelli? But either way, they work it really well. But again, Jorginho getting on the ball, that pass into Gabriel Jesus with a little bit of quality, the awareness and the intelligence to know Trossard's behind him. And again, it's a really good connection from Odegaard from about 9 yards out. And the only thing is it's straight to the goalkeeper.
Feyenoord now 4-1 up against Sparta Prague in the Champions League tonight. Arsenal, as it stands, 5th in the Champions League standings, so very much ensconced in the automatic qualifying spots. It's only Liverpool with a perfect record after their win away at Girona last night. Here comes Akliouche for Monaco, inside right channel, Vanderson ahead of him. Vanderson loves to get forward, the fullback. He's blocked off on this occasion though by Timber, who did very well standing up the former Ajax man, and it's an Arsenal throw in the left back position. We'll have more top class live football for you on Talksport tomorrow night. Rangers against Spurs. That'll be some return to Ibrox for the former Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou.
I mean, a manager that's under pressure. If there's one place you didn't want to go back to try and get some points, it'd be there at Ibrox.
The tight confines of Ibrox. And Manchester United and Chelsea also in action tomorrow as well. Minamino for Monaco. Right edge of the penalty area. Blocked off by Saliba. Minamino dribbles the ball to the dead ball line. Rolls it back to Vanderson as Monaco look for an equaliser here. Would be an unlikely equaliser given Arsenal's first half dominance, certainly. As Golovin, the number 10, collects possession. Steers it back in field towards Ben Shaqir. He goes down, fouled by Odegaard. The Arsenal captain upset with the referee. Thought for a second he was going to get the yellow card out there, Davide Massa. Just telling Odegaard to calm down. Free kick to Monaco in a dangerous area as we go into the final quarter of the game.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I didn't think it was a free kick. I thought Martin Odegaard used his body really, really well there, and he shielded the ball. And the referee's been a little bit quick to blow the whistle there. I would have liked to have seen it continue then and then see what happened after that. But to give a foul, I mean, I don't think that was a foul. I thought Odegaard read the situation really well. But I'll tell you what, this second half, Minamino's made a big difference. Picking up really intelligent areas, getting in the box, trying to manipulate the balls. Had one chance already.
Kamara and Caio Henrique to deliver, left-footed, good header away by Jesus, thumping header clear. He who set up the only goal of the game so far in the first half for Saka. Long-range effort from Vanderson, and that's 5 or 6 yards wide. 40 yards out.
If you're an Arsenal player there, you're happy that you're shooting from 40 yards out, because they had bodies forward as well, and that just comes down to decision making. And surely someone's going to tell him that, because there were still 5 or 6 still in Arsenal's penalty box.
The right back going for goal from that sort of range, never likely to end up in the back of the net. Still West Brom 1, Coventry 0 in the late kick-off in the Championship tonight in the Women's Champions League. Chelsea 5-1 up on Twente, and Celtic 1-0 down to Real Madrid. Raya for Arsenal, playing from right to left in the second half. Long high ball out to the right, it eludes Saka. Across came Salisu, and out of play it goes for a throw to Monaco, who again continue to look like they are capable of finding an equaliser. They've been allowed to stay in the game, really, thanks to Arsenal's profligacy in front of goal in the first half, when Arsenal should have scored more. And that's why there is the jeopardy in the game. Havertz is waiting to come on now for Arsenal. Halfway line Odegaard, square ball to Marino, out to the right, and Saka fancies his chances against Salisu, who's backing off. Saka infield to Odegaard, who can't reach it. Good interception by Kamara, who has looked a good player for Monaco. And he's knocked the ball forward up to Ben Shaqir over the halfway line. Now he's driving forward infield to a central position. Ball behind Minamino. Kamara takes over, wins a free kick off Marino on the lip of the centre circle. Arsenal and Mikel Arteta can't wait to make the next change with 20 minutes to go, and he's looked a frustrated figure, I have to say, Arteta, in the second half.
Yeah, I can understand it. They've lost all control of the game first half, certainly the way it ended. Arsenal in control, creating chances, and you're thinking coming out into the second half, what's the case of how many? And it's been the complete opposite. If any side look like they're going to go on and get a goal, can really get something from this game, it's Monaco. It's just whether they can create that one clear-cut opportunity or a number of opportunities to really hurt Arsenal.
A big diagonal ball from Kamara out to the right. Vanderson stretching to bring the ball under control. Timber gets back to clear it away. Good control by Trossard just in front of the Monaco dugout, and he'll play it square to Timber. Turns away from Kamara. Jorginho, good couple of touches in front of Minamino, scrambling across to keep Arsenal in possession. Back to Raya, under pressure from Mbola. Raya smashes the ball high downfield. Towering header away by Salisu. Only as far as Partey beneath the floodlights. Dinks it forward to Saka. 2 against 2. Saka threads the ball to the left, and here's Trossard. Ødegaard makes the run ahead of him. Here is Martin Ødegaard. Couldn't control. You could see what Trossard was trying to do, but he overhit the pass into the penalty area. That reverse ball, and Ødegaard just couldn't quite reach it.
Now, it was a great run from Ødegaard as well. And again, Trossard, he does really well because he comes inside and acts like he's going to maybe feed it into Gabriel Jesus, and he just drops a little reverse into Ødegaard's path, but he just gets slightly too much on it and ends up going through to the goalkeeper. But good move. And again, when Arsenal get passage to play and good quality passes in, they can get numbers forward, they can create chances.
There's a great energy and intensity still to this game, and a sense that anything could still happen. Vanderson's ball down the middle is half cleared away by Timber. Milan 1, Red Star 1 in the Champions League is the latest score. Minamino looks down the middle to Ben Shaqir, and Akliouche is there, blocked off by Saliba. Towering presence in his foul. Celtic women 0, Real Madrid 2 in the Women's Champions League, and there's another goal in the Championship at Hull. Mike McCarthy.
Hull 1, Watford 1. Rocco Vata with the goal, side footing home after Quadwo Bar had surged down the right and squared it up. Excellent finish. Watford level it up. Hull 1, Watford 1.
And so City will remain at the bottom of the Championship as it stands. Ruben Sellers' first game at the helm. Arsenal 1, Monaco 0. Off goes Jesus, on comes Havertz. So another game without a goal for Jesus, but he did provide the all-important assist for the one goal that Arsenal have scored, Darren.
He's probably gutted that he didn't get another opportunity in that second half, because he's probably thinking, right, you're going at half-time, I've missed 2 good chances, there's going to be more for me in that second half, and it hasn't happened. Arsenal haven't got going, they haven't created the chances, they haven't played with that same intensity that they played with in that first half, and now it's a case of now putting some of the big hitters on and trying to get that second goal or hold what you've got.
Arsenal's next 2 games live on the Talksport network, at home to Everton at the weekend, and then against Crystal Palace in the League Cup quarter-final. And next week, Trossard with the weaving feet on the corner of the area, and he's trying to play the ball with the outside of his foot cross-field. Cleared away and given away by Partey. Moans and groans from the Arsenal fans in front of us. 17 to go plus added time. On Talksport, this game is brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Monaco out on the right with Vanderson, who's looked at outlets, corner of the penalty area near side, drills in the cross, not an easy header for Saliba, did well, heightened distance on it, and Havertz did brilliantly, juggled it away from Kamara, sold him a dummy, 2 against 1, Trossard to the left on the ball, Ødegaard is square, Trossard tried to find him, Salisu made the interception. Applauded by his goalkeeper. 1-0 Arsenal. Trossard 20 yards out with a rising shot, and it's clean over the top of the crossbar.
Again, another opportunity wasted. I mean, they do so well, and it comes to them. They bring it down. Kai Havertz, fantastic. That's what he's been brought on for. He pugs the ball down his chest. He just flicks it around the corner, and Trossard's away. But he doesn't do anything with the ball. He's driving with it. He doesn't try and change the angle. He almost tries to pass it from about 10 yards away through the defender's legs, and that's never going to get there. I mean, Ødegaard sprints 60, 70 yards to get out with him. But Trossard, he tries to go between the defender's legs from 10 yards away. It's never going to get there. And Arsenal have to capitalise on one of these opportunities. The more men Monaco commit forward, the more gaps they're going to leave.
A playoff chasing West Brom 2, Coventry 0 in the Championship. Frank Lampard heading for his first defeat, and Juventus have a second against Manchester City. Live on Talksport 2 right now, Weston McKennie has made it 2-0 to Juventus in Turin. It'll be 1 win in 10 for Pep Guardiola, and Manchester City's hopes of making the knockout stages automatically under real threat.
He's about to get the chop, isn't he?
It's the most nightmarish run of his career, isn't it? Can you believe it? 1 win in 10. Unthinkable for Man City. but they're 2-0 down to Juventus. Here come Arsenal 1-0 up on Monaco. 15 left. The crowd get to their feet again. Trossard left on edge of the penalty area, drills in the low cross. Not a good one. Cut out at the near post by Kehrer, and then Kamara let it bounce nervously, thunders the ball high up into the air. Saliba, so dominant as ever, wins the header against Mbola. Arsenal know a second goal wraps up the match for them. Here is Jorginho, midway inside opposition territory. Havertz tucks the ball casually to his left. Infield timber to Jorginho again. Monaco with everybody bar Mbola in dark green. Back behind the ball. Arsenal have it now with Saliba, and this passage of play more reminiscent of what we saw in the first half. Stuttgart 5, Young Boys 1, and Dortmund 1, Barcelona 2. Barcelona are back in front. Let's hear how Juventus made it 2-0 against Man City on Talksport 2 with your commentator Ian Danter.
Weston McKennie, way on the other substitute. It's away on the right-hand side into the area. Angles tightening, tries to pull it across. Pavlovic tucks it back. Weston McKennie! 2-0 Juve!
And you'll want to have your say if you're a Manchester City fan, certainly, after the game on Talksport 2 on the Sports Bar. 03717 223344. Arsenal fans listening to us tonight, what have you made of what you've heard as Kehrer clears the ball out of play for Monaco? 14 minutes to go. Arsenal should be more comfortable than their 1-0 lead. Timber to the edge of the penalty area, nudges it square. Ødegaard takes over, shuffles onto his right foot. They tried to block him, Monaco, from getting it on his favoured left. Now Saka, back to Ødegaard again. Corner of the box, whips in the cross. Marino took it off the head actually of Trossard at the back stick. He was always stretching to try and meet that, and it's gone behind. And it is a goal kick to Monaco. Here's Darren Bent.
Yeah, great play again from Arsenal, but it's no coincidence that Arsenal have had their best period since Jorginho's come on. I still think he's one of the very best in the Premier League and maybe in Europe in terms of controlling possession, the tempo of a game, always wants the ball, always picks the right option, and I think Arsenal needed it. It was a bit chaotic the second half. No one really wanted to put their foot on the ball.
Oh, the goalkeeper's given it straight to Saka! That surely wraps it up! Bukayo Saka, the right man in the right place. Dreadful error by Maeki, and Arsenal finally get the second goal that they'll feel they deserve. 2 for Saka on the night, 2 for Arsenal, and Arsenal take a real big step to the knockout stages of the Champions League. No missing that opportunity. Saka on a hat-trick. Arsenal 2, Monaco 0, and that is surely the end of the story.
Yeah, really poor for Maeki, but also Salisu. I think he's the one who gives it back to him, but again, Kai Havertz presses the goalkeeper, but it's the first touch from Saka because it's fired at him. He brings it out, he manages to hold the defender up as well, and then he just lifts it past the goalkeeper into that far post. It is Salisu, he gives it back to him. Havertz presses him, but the first touch from Saka is fantastic. Just gets it at his feet, holds the defender off, and then just lifts it over Maeki. It's a really simple but really good finish from Saka. 2-0, it should be job done.
No more missed chances for Arsenal. 2-0 the lead, and Ethan Nwaneri, the 17-year-old, is going to come on very shortly. Let's get full time in the Championship at Hull City with Mike McCarthy.
Hull 1, Watford 1, both goals in the final 10 minutes in Ruben Sayers' first game in charge of Hull. They were in front through Chris Bedia, the ball fired at him, replay suggesting it came off his arm to go in, but Watford responding through Rocco Vata from close range, 3 minutes from time. Hull staying bottom, Watford just outside the top 6. Hull 1, Watford 1.
Arsenal have the luxury now of taking off their captain. Ødegaard, a standing ovation. Nwaneri coming on. Cardiff 0, Preston 2. Cardiff very much in relegation trouble in the Championship, and it's finished at the Den. Talksport, Charlotte Richardson.
Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1. The Blades back top of the Championship as they ruin Neil Harris's send-off in his final home game in charge. A clinical moment, the difference. Ryan Brewster's smart tap-in, enough to earn 3 important points on the road. Millwall 0, Sheffield United 1.
Thank you, Charlotte. And the game restarts here in North London. Arsenal 2-0 up, and the crowd can settle down now. The nerves have got out of the game. 2 for Saka. 2 of the closest range goals that he'll score this season, but he buried it emphatically past the goalkeeper. Punished the mistake, and you're absolutely right, Darren. It was Salisu who put the goalkeeper under pressure, and then Maeki maybe panicked, didn't hammer it clear. and Saka was there to hammer it into the back of the net.
I mean, it was still a great first touch from Saka because it's fired at him from such a close distance, and as I said, he manages to get it under control, hold off the defender behind him, and then just casually lift it over Mayaki. It's such a good finish. But Saka, as you said, we've seen him score better goals than that, but it's a 2-0. They had to get that second goal. Monaco were pushing, but as I said, since Jorginho's come on and Timber, there's been a lot more control in this Arsenal performance.
Dortmund 2, Barcelona 2. Cracking game tonight in the Champions League in Germany. Another equaliser for Dortmund. And Feyenoord 2 and Feyenoord 4. Sparta Prague 2 is the latest score. There'll be a triple change now for the visitors. Monaco. Off goes Mbolo. I think Kamara is coming off as well, with the game probably beyond Monaco at this stage. Yes, here comes Kamara, and again we're just waiting for the final number to go up. Jordan Teze is coming on, so too Elliot Matazo, a Belgian midfield player. Likewise George Ilenikena taking to the field, and Evanderson is the other player to come off for Monaco. So a triple change that feels realistically like it's going to be too late. Ilenikena is a great prospect, the 18-year-old. He's scored Champions League winners in his career against Barcelona twice, but it doesn't look like there'll be any sort of Monaco fight back now. 9 minutes to go on Talksport. Arsenal 2-0 up. Meanwhile on Talksport 2, Manchester City are 2-0 down at Juventus, with the sports bar coming next. 03717 223344. Arsenal now with Trossard back to the halfway line, and Timber. Cardiff 0, Preston 2, a full-time score in the Championship tonight. Another defeat for Cardiff City, and full-time in the Championship 2 at QPR. Alex Crook.
It's finished QPR 2, Oxford 0. Sam Field volley the hosts in front 8 minutes into the second half, and he completed his and their double on 68 minutes. A neat finish from just outside the penalty area. Unbeaten in 5 now, QPR. 1 win in 14 for Oxford, who are on the slide. QPR 2, Oxford 0.
Absolutely, two sides in the Championship in contrasting form. By the way, in the Championship on Saturday, we'll bring you Preston against Leeds live on Talksport. Leeds very much in the promotion contention, as you'd expect. Teze for Monaco. First touch back to Kehrer. Hammers it downfield. Arsenal 2, Monaco 0. The bouncing ball is up towards Ilenikena, who has half held it up against Kivior. The flag is up, and that'll be an Arsenal free kick. So I do think on the balance of play, Darren, all the missed chances in the first half, and yes, Monaco have come back into it, but not really created a great deal. Arsenal deserved the 2-0 lead, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think the only chance I've really had that second half was certainly Mbolo, where he let it run across his body and tried to swivel on it and hit it, but you wouldn't really call that a clear-cut chance. Should he hit the target from there? He probably should, from about 8 yards out, but he didn't. But other than on the basis of playing the chances Arsenal missed first half, yes, they thoroughly deserve the 2-0 lead. But as I said, since Jorginho's come on, there's just been a calming influence on this Arsenal side. He gets on the ball, he dictates possession, he always wants the ball as well, he bosses other people around as well, puts them into the right position, and obviously Timber's come on as well, that defensive rock at the back as well, and the last 10 minutes you have to say has been quite comfortable for Arsenal.
Yeah, they've been a steadying influence, haven't they, those who've taken to the field, as you'd expect. And Arsenal looking for more goals. Marino, square ball now into the feet of Waneri. Waneri angle pass out to the near side. He gets the return from Trossard. So much excitement about Waneri as he crosses to the back post. It is in front of Havertz, who couldn't get the touch on it. Now Saka, right corner of the penalty area. Infield to Marina, who turns. Trossard on the edge of the D. Havertz to Trossard. Slices it wide. It was good football in a tight, congested area from Arsenal, but Trossard didn't catch it right.
Yeah, it was lovely little little 1-2 there, sorry. I mean, great play from Moreno on the edge of the box as well. But Trossard, I mean, little 1-2, and that's where I think Trossard's at his best. There's little intricate little 1-2s in and around the box as well. He's not blessed with a lot of pace, but technically really intelligent, can shoot off both feet as well, and that was unlucky.
31 major trophies for Arsenal, never a major European trophy. Is this their year? They are heading towards a very important victory with 2 more matches to go in the league phase of this season's Champions League. And so important, I think, that you reach the knockouts automatically. Nobody wants a place in the playoffs if they can help it. Trossard down by the dead ball line, blocked off by Teze. Arsenal corner, quickly to Stamford Bridge in the Women's Champions League. Another goal there, Ian Abrahams.
Chelsea 6, FC 21. Yves Perisset driving home from 10 yards out after Clark couldn't really punch clear a corner. Chelsea 6, FC 21.
Oh, what a start for Sonia Bonpastor, the Chelsea women head coach. 14 wins from 14 it'll be. Corner to Arsenal, just their second of the game. Havertz is there. Lurking also is Partey. At the back post is Marino. And standing in front of the goalkeeper, Kivior, and half the team is lurking for Arsenal. Corner's taken short, Trossard to Waneri. Dead ball line, back to Trossard, lays it square. Jorginho edge of the box, back to goal. Back out wide to Trossard, who thinks about dinking it in. Tries to take on Teze. Teze, the tall, leggy defender, trying to stand up to the challenge. Erdegaard with a little Cruyff, Trossard with a little Cruyff turn down the left, and he's actually taken the ball out of play. Dortmund 2, Barcelona 3. Barcelona back in front in the Champions League tonight, and having an impressive league phase campaign. Barcelona, they are up to second in the table. Arsenal, by the way, are up to third. They'll be 5 points off Liverpool at the top, but remember, the top 8 go through automatically. 4 minutes to go plus added time. Trossard out to the right and Saka. It's 2-0 Arsenal. Saka is on a hat-trick. Infield to Waneri. Waneri looks up from 25 yards, and the effort into the chest of the goalkeeper. Waneri looking for his first goal in the Champions League tonight. What a player, the 17-year-old Darren.
He looks so composed. I mean, we all got a glimpse of him at Brentford all those years ago. It feels like a long time ago. But I mean, just so composed and in possession there. And even there, to have the confidence to drive with it, another shot from there. Big things are expected from him, big things, and I can understand why. There's a lot of excitement about him here at Arsenal, and you see every time he comes on cameo, I think Mikel Arteta's managed him really well, because I'm sure he's ready to go. He wants to play week in, week out. You just got almost saying to him, just be patient.
And he's won it back, and he's found Marino midway inside the Monaco half. Out to the left now, and Timber. Still Juventus 2, Man City 0 on Talksport 2 right now. And Timber midway inside the Monaco half, and Arsenal playing keep ball at this stage. 3 to go. Some in the crowd are heading away early, confident that the job is done. And Arsenal have got themselves a free kick, which is taken quickly by Kivior. Monaco caught out. Trossard dead ball line. Chips in the cross. Hit by Marino. Blocked. Could fall for Saka on his right foot. Tucked in. Havertz. 3-0 Arsenal. And in the end, it is going to be comfortable. Saka with the right-footed effort on the volley from the angle. And then Kai Havertz lurking from close range to flick it cleverly beyond the goalkeeper. And in the end, it's easy street for Arsenal in the Champions League. Arsenal 3, Monaco 0.
Yeah, job done for Arsenal. Again, really quick free kick there, really quick thinking. And Trossard does really well and just dinks the ball into the box. I mean, it comes to Saka, who swings it. I think it's Moreno who has the first one. I just wonder if he's onside, because he's engaged with the defender Kehrer, and as it comes across to Bukayo Saka, he almost stomps it into the ground. I mean, Kai Havertz gets something on it. I mean, it's an intelligent finish, but I just wonder if he's offside.
We've got no information at the moment that a VAR check is taking place. Trossard with the delivery to the back post. Marino swung at it. Saka hit it, and I think Teze was playing him onside. Teze, the right fullback, I think. And Saka, decent contact on it. And maybe did it go in off the defender Kehrer, I wonder?
Me being a former striker, I'm giving it to Havertz. Regardless of if it comes off, it's his.
Might have got it off Kehrer, you know, with the final touch. Mikel Arteta celebrates, and Arsenal aren't too bothered, but VAR is checking it.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. I did wonder potentially if it was offside. I think maybe he's been played onside, but again, really intelligent play there from Trossard. Really quick thinking to get himself into that area. And if it is a goal, a nice goal for Trossard, not Trossard, for Havertz, if he got anything on it.
VAR check still taking place. Celtic 0, Real Madrid 3 in the Women's Champions League, and the goal is given. It is 3-0 to Arsenal. I think maybe the only question mark, Havertz, as you say, will claim it, might go down as a Kehrer own goal. We'll find out in a few moments if that Havertz, for now, has been credited with it. So it's 3-0 Arsenal in the Champions League, live on Talksport tonight with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has got vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van. Offside flag up against Elenikena. Free kick to Arsenal, and the 3-0 scoreline, I think, overall reflects their dominance. But maybe the story of the night in Turin. Juventus 2, Manchester City 0. It remains. The closing stages on Talksport 2, and reaction to come here on Talksport in the Sports Bar.
Yeah, big shock that Juventus beaten Manchester City. But do you know what? I think you can always tell a lot about our players' reaction in that instance. And when you see Kai Havertz, the moment the ball hit the back of the net, he was off. He knew. Right. Usually, if it hasn't come off you, you're a little bit sheepish with your reaction to the goal and the celebration. Almost like, yeah, I hope I get it, but I probably won't. Havertz straight away put his arm up in the air, ran to Saka like he knew it was his. So I think it probably was him.
3 added minutes now for Arsenal. Dinked over the top by Jorginho. Havertz plucks it out of the air. Dead ball line loops in the cross. Headed away by Teze. It's come to Jorginho. And then the shot is saved by the goalkeeper. Waneri swung at it. Flag was up again. I'm wondering why, Darren, but anyway, Monaco kept the ball out. Milan 2, Red Star 1 a latest score. Tammy Abraham has got the goal for AC Milan tonight on a busy night of football in the Champions League. In the EFL, it's always busy on Talksport and Talksport 2. More live football tomorrow night. Tottenham, Man United and Chelsea, all that action on the network. Rangers against Spurs will be very interesting as Waneri wins Arsenal a corner. It's finished in Turin. Juventus 2, Manchester City 0. That is 1 win in 10 for Manchester City in all competitions, and they languish 22nd place in the league phase table. Maybe will they even get a playoff spot the way they're playing, Manchester City? That's a question for Pep Guardiola.
Crazy that. I would have never
who
seen,
would have thought that?
I would have never seen that coming.
But for Arsenal, the picture is much rosier. They're going to take a corner. Actually, Saliba and Timber have stayed back. Corner's been taken short to Saka, who's still on a hat-trick. We are halfway through 3 added. Thomas Partey down the right. She plays it forward towards Trossard, and can't keep it in play. Kivior can't keep it in play either. They all look to the assistant referee. Goal kick is given. It looked like it should have been a corner to Arsenal, but the assistant unruffled, and job done certainly tonight for Arsenal, Darren Ben.
100%. And do you know, we've not mentioned him a lot, but do you know who's had a really good game with him, really effective? Jakob Kivior. Yep. I think a lot was made of him when he came in, and he didn't play. He had to fill in at left back at times, but I think the last couple of appearances I've seen him alongside Saliba, he's looked calm. He's looked like he's up for the fight as well. He's been strong. He's done really well with possession. I think he deserves a little mention. 3 straight starts for Kivior. Still no Gabriel, still no Calafiori, still no Tomiyasu. Or Zinchenko. Here is Kivior on the ball, midway inside his own half. That's a lovely pass up to Timber. What was he doing up there? Cleared away by Kehrer for Monaco. Last 30 seconds of added time on Talksport. Sports Bar comes next. Jermaine Pennant and Jason Cundy waiting to take your calls on a night where Manchester City have been beaten in the Champions League, but Arsenal are going to pick up a comfortable victory. Now, Ben Seguir for Monaco, who are a beaten team at this point. Out to the right at Akliouche. Just seconds remain. Empty red seats starting to appear around the stadium now. Arsenal have got the job done. Wrapping up the game a little later than maybe they would have wanted. But for Mikel Arteta, the satisfaction of a big win in the Champions League. That takes Arsenal up to 3rd in the league phase table. And the passage towards the knockout stages of the Champions League has really opened up for them now. 31 major trophies in the history of Arsenal. Never won a major European trophy. Is this the year that changes? There's a heck of a long way still to go, of course, for Arsenal. But it looks as though the knockout stages should be within relatively easy reach now. 2 goals for Bukayo Saka. Kai Havertz added a 3rd late on. Arsenal really should have scored more, but on the night they get the job done pretty convincingly in the end. Full time on Talksport. Arsenal 3, Monaco 0.
Easy does it for Arsenal, up to 3rd in the Champions League table. As it stands right now, we're waiting for full-time whistles elsewhere across Europe, but Arsenal in 3rd, one of 6 teams on 13 points, stretching down to 8th place And then there's 4 teams on 12 points, and Darren Bent with 2 games left. That's the jeopardy of this new format. Arsenal looking great in third, but they're only there a point ahead of the team in 12th place as it stands right now.
Honestly, I looked at the table and thought, right, that's a nice 3-0 win for Arsenal. They should be comfortably in that top 8. And as you said there, Ray, you go all the way down, they're on 13 points. There's so many teams on 13. I mean, there's so much jeopardy, and that's why people weren't quite sure how to navigate this new Champions League format. I'm still not sure how you navigate it, but all you can do if you're a team up there in that top 8 is keep winning your games, keep putting points on the board, and give yourself a fantastic chance of getting through to the knockout stages.
The big story, though, and we have to go to the next page on CFAX for this one, is Manchester City being very much bottom half of that table. They're still in a playoff place, but they're 22nd, 8 points. That's 5 points off the top 8 with 2 games to go, and they're away to PSG next. PSG are in the bottom 8. Yes, desperation for 2 giants there.
Absolutely desperation. I mean, for Manchester City, I think with PSG, with the change in squad and losing their superstar talisman in Mbappe, I think a lot of people would have probably said, you know what, I expect maybe PSG to have a bit of an off year. For Manchester City, I don't think anyone on the planet saw them fall into pieces. Even when they lost Rodri, people would have said, yeah, but they've got enough in the squad. The fact that they're struggling in the Premier League, they're struggling in the Champions League, I just don't think anyone saw it happening. Now, every single week we keep coming and saying, it'll change at some point, it will change at some point. I'm not quite sure it will now.
It's gone on too long. It was a blip that turned into a patch of bad form that has now turned into a bit of a crisis, especially if they don't qualify for at least a playoff in the Champions League. And what I would say about Man City, we'll talk about Arsenal in a sec, what I would say about Man City is, I know Rodri's out, and they've still got a squad. It's not the biggest squad, contrary to popular belief, but it's like playing with 10 men, even though they've got 11, because Rodri isn't there. And that is a criticism of the squad that Pep and City have built, that they can't cover the loss of one player.
100%. And when you look at the squad, Aid, and how good that squad is, you're right. They can't replace Rodri like for like. I mean, it'd be difficult because for me, he's the best player in the world in that position. But almost as well, when you start looking at the strength and depth and the players that they've got in that squad, on paper, you probably think, yeah, fantastic. When you actually look at the players they've brought in, who's really affecting anything? Gundogan was brilliant when he was there last time. He hasn't quite got going yet. Savinho, I'm a big fan of his, yet to score a goal. Jeremy Doku, again, flat as to the seams, looks fantastic when he goes forward. Rarely scores, rarely assists. Kevin De Bruyne now is getting older. He can't quite do what he used to be able to do. I just wonder now, this is almost like Pep's never been in this position before. It'll be really interesting. We know he's fantastic. We know he's one of the best coaches ever. We've never seen him have to recover from a situation like this. This is going to be fascinating to see what Manchester City can achieve come end of this season.
This reminds me of what I was saying about Wenger in the last few years of Wenger's reign. He used to be brilliant, but he isn't anymore. We get into that point with Pep Guardiola. Listen, they're going to take his calls on the sports bar about City and the other football that we've seen tonight. 03717 223344. But let's focus here on a win for Arsenal, 3-0. Probably could have been about 8 or 9-0. But at 1-0, Monaco had a great chance when Mbolo, and what Arsenal were doing, they've got a set-piece coach who should be sacked, by the way. That free kick that led to that chance, disgrace from Arsenal.
Do you know, I wondered if that Muriel was going to get taken down. If they'd conceded from a set play, Muriel gone. But you know, I mean, that was probably their best chance from Mbolo, where he does well, he swivels, and even the header from Kerrier, where you're thinking, oh, okay, come on, Arsenal. And second half, they were so comfortable first half that they expected to come out second half and to be exact same, that easy. It wasn't the case, and as I said, when Jorginho came on and Timber and the more experienced players, everything just settled down, and then again Arsenal managed to go and get the second and then the third. But I think if you're Arteta, you're probably not happy with the way they started that second half, but from a positive perspective, you get the 3 goals, job done for Arsenal.
Yeah, and it is job done as well. And there could have been some nerves about the game because Monaco needed to win as well, and they'd missed all those chances, but they stayed composed second half. And let's have a look at Miles Lewis-Skelly coming in, important game, teenager at fullback. Got taken off in the second half, but got the job done in the first half. And when he was on the pitch for that second 45, and saw after the game, all smiles, Miles Lewis-Skelly. And any wonder, because he's played his part in a big win and an important win for Arsenal.
Yeah, he has, and fantastic. I mean, it's a big occasion, playing in the Champions League at 18 years old. He didn't look overawed. He was brilliant for the first goal. I can understand why the manager maybe took him off second half, although I would have liked to have seen him stay on. At that time, Arsenal on the ropes a little bit unsure, and it's probably not fair to kind of leave him in that environment. So what do? You put on Timber, who, again, has been fantastic for Arsenal. But for Lewis Skelly, when he goes home tonight and he goes to training tomorrow, whenever it may be, he can kind of hold his head up proud. His family should be proud because he looked comfortable, and he certainly is up one for the future for Arsenal, because now if you're, as I said, we spoke about it before, if you're someone like Kieran Tierney or even Zinchenko, I think now, you're almost thinking, do you know what? I've not got long left at this football club, because with him coming up behind me, he is another one of those youngsters who looks like they're ready to go.
Yeah, and by the way, if you haven't seen what he did for the first goal, Miles Lewis Skelly, just have a look at it and just see how composed he is for a teenager. If he loses the ball, they're in massive trouble. He doesn't just lose it, he helps set up a goal. It's brilliant stuff from Miles Lewis Skelly.